Tennessee, CharlesVanMorgan. Welcome to the CharlesVanMorgan Show. Come on in. Got a great show for you today. So everyone's welcome. Come on in. We show our we'll use what we got available. So welcome. Come on in. The CharlesVanMorgan Show. Broadcasting live. Unbridled news. So come on in. We'll wait till a few people get in. Got a great show for you today. We're going to talk about Jim Jones and the cult that he operated. And we're going to talk about Tennessee and the cult that Christian Governor Bill Lee operates. Wow, amazing. You won't hear that from anywhere else except for the CharlesVanMorgan Show. So welcome, come on in. You know, Jim Jones was a part of the Methodist. Bill Lee is part of claims to be Christian. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to expose him. Expose the cult in Tennessee that is very deadly to you. Just in a different way. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, Tennessee. We're going to talk about the Kool-Aid. You want some of it? He's trying to give it to you. They try to give you a little bit every day. I'll tell you how they give it to you. So CharlesVanMorgan Show, come on in. Come on in. You know, it was November the 18th, just a few days from today, in 1978, when a Christian leader, Jim Jones, Christian leader, Bill Lee. Yeah, I'm making a comparison. Won't you sue me, Mr. Bill Lee? I bet I can bring in an argument in court about how the fatality rate in Tennessee's risen because you talk people into drinking your dirty Kool-Aid. So let's just tell the truth about the situation. It's pretty black and white. Either he's dirty or he's not. He's not half dirty. He wants you to drink his Kool-Aid. And I'm telling you, don't drink the Kool-Aid, Tennessee. Don't listen to what people in government power are telling you to do. They're lying to you. It's a cult. Governor Bill Lee's running a Tennessee cult, trying to convince you that he's a legitimate, honest, fair Christian governor. Pretty much like Jim Jones. I'm just saying the truth. You won't hear it anywhere else. We're going to talk about that this morning. Come on in. Join the movement. Power to you, the people. We're going to talk about Jim Jones and how he convinced close to 1,000 people, some of them forcefully, to drink the Kool-Aid. Our Tennessee government is trying to force you to drink the Kool-Aid. And they're so damn stupid, they'll drink it themselves. So let's don't go along with the program. We're talking about governmental control, people in power, how dirty they are. That's some fans. The kind of music you won't hear anywhere else. The CharlesVanMorgan Show. Welcome. We're going to present some facts and talk to you about how the Tennessee government is doing you, especially a lot of the older population, because they know that we won't go along with the program. Older people got some life experiences to hook on to, and they say, hey, wait a minute, what you're telling me, what you're trying to tell me is not what I see as reality. I've lived a few years and I see things differently. So they can't convince us to go along. So they try to demoralize and discredit us, which is exactly what they've tried to do to me. So we're going to talk about Jim Jones, November the 18th, 1978. About 1,000 people. Jim Jones convinced the majority of them, and not insane, basically pretty normal people, were convinced to drink the Kool-Aid and commit mass suicide. About 300 children in by Jim Jones in a foreign country. He started in Indiana and then moved to California, and then isolated people in a foreign country, I think it was Guatemala, and convinced them by psychological means, pretty normal people, to drink Kool-Aid and kill themselves. Go along with the program. He did it by a variety of tactics, and we're going to talk about those tactics. Same tactics that people in Tennessee government power are trying to convince you of, using the same formula, psychological formula. I'm talking about judges' rulings that are lies, trying to convince you, hey, we're in power, we're in authority. Drink the Kool-Aid. Just say, hell no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So we're going to talk about that. We're almost to the bridge. We're going to lay out our evidence and present it to you. Are you against Governor Bill Lee, the Christian Jim Jones that he is? That's what I think he is. Send him this video, you know, and he literally believes his own message. You know, Jim Jones didn't even drink the Kool-Aid himself. He shot himself in the head. He committed suicide. Bill Lee ain't even going to drink his own Kool-Aid. I'm not saying Bill Lee's suicidal. And I'm making a comparison between psychological manipulation and the Tennessee government. I'm making a comparison between Jim Jones, the man that commits 1,000 people close to it to commit suicide, and Governor Bill Lee. Now, it is not exactly the same, I'll give you that. He's not really telling you to drink Kool-Aid that's laced with poison. But in another way, similar, using the similar tactics, he's trying to convince you that he's running the state government for you. So, it is a minute stretch, but it's still the same psychological tactics that Jim Jones used to convince people to drink Kool-Aid. So similarly, I'm going to point out the tactics that Governor Bill Lee's government does, and the things he does are killing a lot of you all. They're killing a lot of Tennesseans. The Christian governor's responsible for that. So hang on and listen before you turn off and think that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, because I do know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm talking about psychological, sociological techniques that people in government power do to win elections, to put people in office, to appoint judges who manipulate the system for themselves against you. I'm CharlesVanMorgan. You won't hear this anywhere else. Charles Van Morgan Show. And I'm going to talk to you about how they know that older people that have lived a few years won't go along with the program. We know a little better. We've seen things and we know what they're telling us is not true. And I'm gonna show you what they did to me. We're gonna talk about a case in the Civil Service Commission, and we're going to talk about the Board of Law Examiners and how they approved younger lawyers, and how they approve younger lawyers every day. But somebody older, like me and a lot of you all, most of my viewers are older people. If you're younger, hang on, you might learn a few things. I learned a lot of what I learned from older people who gave me a lot of good advice. And education's great. Life experience is greater. So I've seen a few things. I've been around a while. Got a long way to go, hopefully. If somebody in government power don't try to kill me, and they might, I don't know. You have to be careful. They already beat me up, put me in jail for spreading a truthful message. And Bill Lee's got a pulpit that he can spread any message he wants to. He's got government power, I think, albeit illegitimately, using a church like Jim Jones did. Jim Jones used to be a Methodist, a faith healer. I'm not sure Governor Lee was that. But, so we're going to talk about that. Talk about the Civil Service Commission, how they took my rights away from me and gave them to a much younger person. And instead of giving me my law license to practice law, because I'm a little bit smarter than your average bear, lived a few years, and gave a younger person that should have been fired from the highway patrol their law license, because they can manipulate younger people and they can't manipulate older people. Bill Lee and Bill Haslam can't manipulate me. I won't drink the Kool-Aid. So I'm encouraging y'all, listen to me today. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't listen to their propaganda. And we're going to tell you how they do it. They do it with a cult. They're a cult. They control, they undermine, they limit, and they twist. So they want to control you. You know, in the city of Knoxville, they just approved, and all over the state they're going to start doing this. They just approved cameras. They're going to watch you wherever you go, everywhere you go. They're going to know where you're at every day. And they got unlimited databases where they can keep a lot of information in a minute area. So they're going to know everything about you. They're going to have complete control over you. And that's part of the tactic of a cult, is control over you and over people. And they undermine opposition. They undermine you. They try to say you're not honest, you're not trustworthy. They deny you law licenses. They'll give them to people that they can control. But if they can't control you illegitimately in the land of the free and the home of the brave, they don't need to control us. They try to undermine you. They say you did something wrong. They deny you law licenses while giving it to other people. They undermine you. They say you're not honest while they're committing crimes. And they limit your exposure by saying he's not credible, don't listen to him. They try to limit the broadcast put out. They limit social media accounts. They limit what you can say. They limit your message and undermine you and sanction you for freedom of speech. Sanction you for complaining against government officials through their own procedure. So they limit and they twist the narrative. They gaslight you. They say what you see is not the truth. Look at this beautiful view. They say what you see is not the truth. So like, share, comment. Look at this beautiful view here of the city of Knoxville from the Henley Street Bridge. So yeah, you can see the old shaky bridge over there. So not true. Trump got consent from all those kids. Okay, well, Trump mega. He's trying to make America great again. So that's a cult. You know, Jim Jones had amplified messages all day long of his lies toward people to indoctrinate them into convincing them that he was the final authority, the final arbitrator. And about 300 children, their parents even, gave them the poisonous Kool-Aid to drink. And Jim Jones convinced them to do that by using psychological tactics to convince people that a lie is the truth. He had practice sessions for them to drink Kool-Aid and to see how many people did it. See if people could go along. They had practice sessions, test sessions, and they punished people that didn't go along to get more people to comply with the crooked, dirty system, alleging power from God. You know, using religious faith, which is what Mr. Governor Bill Lee does. Convinces people that people that have stolen valor, that have raised the fatality. This is Governor Bill Lee. This ain't Jim Jones. This is Governor Bill Lee. And really, Governor Hasbin runs the state government in Tennessee. Even Trump called Governor Bill Lee a rhino, Republican in name only. So, you know, he's not even really a Republican. If you're a Republican, don't get mad at me. Bill Lee's not a Republican. He's similar to Mr. Jim Jones. Once you drink the Kool-Aid, stuff that will endanger your life. Those are shocking statements. Look at your fatality rate. He promoted somebody in the Highway Patrol from all the way to major, which is an appointed position by him. It's not a civil service position. It's appointed by him, major of the Highway Patrol, for political reasons. Somebody that has raised your fatality rate. Every time you go down the road, it's more dangerous for you. There's 24% more fatalities on Tennessee roadways because of Governor Bill Lee, because of Governor Jim Jones Bill Lee. Want you to drink the Kool-Aid and tell you that that's okay. Symbolically, the same thing Jim Jones did. And that's the truth. Governor Bill Lee, knowing, had full knowledge, I told him, through their complaint procedure, he can't claim ignorance, he knows it, that his major, Stacey Heatherly, was stealing valor. She alleges she was in 75th Division of the Army National Guard. And she never served a day. That's a lie. So he is, and he knew that. I wrote him a complaint form through Internal Affairs at the Tennessee Highway Patrol. They haven't gotten back to me. After I notified him of that serious violation of the law, stealing valor, with pictures and evidence, I haven't heard back from him. And then, after that, this is what they're doing. They're telling us, and I don't believe him, that you don't matter. The truth doesn't matter. He promoted her to major over the Highway Patrol. And that's the least of it. That's the least of it. Look it up, check it out. So he's telling you the truth, he's twisting it. The truth's not the truth. She stole valor. Let me show you look on my page. Let me show you the leaflet that she put out all over the world, trying to give her the credibility of a military veteran. And then he promoted her. So he's trying to gaslight me and you, everybody in Tennessee, saying the truth is not really the truth. Trying to hide that. Trying to say, CharlesVanMorgan, you don't matter. Me and Bill Lee got billions of dollars matter. No, I matter, Bill. I matter, Bill. Won't you resign from the governorship, the wreck? Because I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid, and Tennesseans ain't drinking the Kool-Aid. And not only that, that's the least of it. You know, I could care less if she steals valor. That's an embarrassment on her and him. He stands beside somebody that stole valor. He's associating himself with somebody that served in 1175th Division, the Army National Guard. He's standing there beside her, and she didn't serve in that. And he's acting like he's part of that he promoted somebody that served in the military, when they lied. So he lies to you. So that's the least of what he did. She got rid of me from the Tennessee Highway Patrol for filing an age discrimination complaint against her and her buddy, Lion Lil Russell. So we're talking about Jim Jones. Drink the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid and die. Yeah. And they want you to drink the Kool-Aid, Mr. Bill Lee, and die in a tragic drunk driving wreck. And she even got hit by a drunk driver that she caused herself. So we're here at the bridge, and today we may go on the other side here in a minute. So come on board. Got a lot of information to report to you today about Jim Jones and Governor Bill Lee, Governor Haslam. Drink the Kool-Aid. Go ahead. I'm not. I want you to join the movement. Vote. Voters of Tennessee enraged. Voters of truth enraged. So let's see how many people got on here. Not very many. Got a few. Like, share, comment. I'm sure they'll let you pay them until you're 70. Yeah, they will. Remember when Trump said he wasn't friends with Epstein anymore, but they were still hanging out 2017, 2018. Okay. So, man will always fail you. I put my faith in our Lord Jesus Christ. That's right. Vote for Marsha Blackburn for governor. Vote for Marsha Blackburn you for governor, right? Yeah, that's what we need to do. We need to vote for Marsha Blackburn you, because the flip-flopper. So I may run. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided whether or not I'll run or not. If nothing else, it'll get a lot of publicity out, get a message out, and that's what we're trying to do, get a message out. So we may do that. I don't know. But we're going to talk about Jim Jones, November 18th, 1978. Psychologically convinced about close to 1,000 people to drink Kool-Aid, kill themselves. People say, well, they're crazy people. Psychotic. No, a lot of them were normal people. As normal as you and me. Some of us in here, some of y'all ain't normal in there. Convinced about 1,000 of them. Some of them normal people. Normal people. Nothing wrong with them. He did it through psychological techniques. And something very important. If you don't get anything out of this, I want you to get this right here. Fraudsters delight is the fraudster's delight. They love you when you say, I can't be fooled, I can't be tricked, I'm smarter than that, I'm better than that. Because any of us can be tricked or fooled. The fraudster's delight is when people aren't on guard, they think they can't be tricked, they're smarter than that. When under the right circumstances, under the right psychological intimidation methods, if we aren't aware, don't think it can happen to us, it can happen to any damn one of us. It happens all across the state of Tennessee to this day. Look at these people that you're electing in government offices. They're not good people. They're liars. They're out for themselves. They're out for the billionaires. So look at the beautiful view. So CharlesVanMorgan in the morning. We're going to talk about manipulation by people in government power. So we're going to talk about Leon Marshall. Now, Leon Marshall was a Tennessee state trooper. Now, he got terminated. He's a lot younger than me. He got terminated from the Highway Patrol because he arrested and then unarrested somebody. And he tried to argue that was legal. So we got another ambulance person. He tried to argue that was legal and introduce case law, trying to lawyer up on him. And he may have been right, I don't know, but he was a lot younger than me. And they terminated him, and he didn't do nowhere near the job that I did. Didn't have the job performance. I lowered the fatality rate in Tennessee. A lot younger than me, under 40, which is where you can be discriminated because of your age. Age discrimination is age under 40. And I'm 61 now, so I'm well above that. But the reason this is significant, the reason age is significant, is that when you're older, you don't have the same opportunities as younger people do. So for example, you can join the military up until you're 37. When you're 40, you can't join the military anymore, don't have that opportunity. Now, Leon Marshall was terminated from the Highway Patrol in, I think, about 2009 or 10, and he had his, they upheld the termination. He arrested and unarrested somebody, got wrote up one time for wrecking a patrol car. And I'm not slamming Leon Marshall, you know, went on with his career, but he, like me, similar to me, except for the difference between me and Leon Marshall, and I'm telling you about drinking the Kool-Aid. The difference between me and Leon Marshall is Leon Marshall was under 40. From what the best information I can get, and you can look at him, he's under 40. And he got fired from the Highway Patrol, and they upheld the termination. I don't know about the specific facts. I don't trust the state government, but they upheld his termination, and he went to law school, similar to me. I was in my late 40s when I was fired from the Highway Patrol, and I went to law school just like him, except for I was older. And the difference between me and him, I was older. Oh, let's see here. They're probably going to work a rat and help people. So like, share, comment, and if you can contribute. We got some donation yesterday. Helps the program going. So I'm talking about manipulation. Jim Jones, drink the Kool-Aid. Talking about Bill Lee, drink the Kool-Aid. I'm talking about what the government does. I'm talking not from an educational perspective. I'm talking about from what I've seen, real life. I know I was really there and seen really what happened. It's like if you were in where Jim Jones was and he told you to drink the Kool-Aid, then you'd know how he got people to do that. And I'm telling you, if I would have been there, I'd say, I ain't drinking that Kool-Aid. Hell no. And I'd have got the hell away from there. Went out there with him in the first place. Jim Jones was a part of the Methodist Church originally, a faith healer. Bill Lee is supposed to be a Christian. They got a whole lot of people to go along with him, didn't they? Yeah, I'm just telling you. Maybe you shouldn't have. So, making a comparison. So, Leon Marshall, you can look it up. I'm telling you facts. He got terminated from the Highway Patrol. I was in law school. I got terminated from the Highway Patrol. Hear my case. Hear me out. I was in law school before I got terminated from the Highway Patrol because I was trying to get out of the Highway Patrol because I seen how the Highway Patrol was 99.9% political. Now, there are very few people that are promoted because they're worthy of the promotion. They actually save lives on the road. Most of them are promoted like all the way to colonel based on politics. Somebody is related to Matt Perry that's in the Supreme Court. Was, that promoted because of that. That's not a reason to promote somebody. How many drunk driving arrests did Matt Perry make? How many lives did he save? None. Matt Perry got elected in my academy class. I went to the academy with Matt Perry. I know Matt Perry. I know the little sissy girly man that he is. He's arrogant, and he knows he's got a free ride because of people in power that he knows. He doesn't have this. He didn't save more people on the roads than anybody in the state. This same year I got fired. The reason the same year I got fired is because that's the same year I made an age discrimination complaint. So it didn't matter that I saved people on the roads. It mattered that I said I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. So I was in law school. We're talking about Leon Marshall. Here's one of their people related. Dwayne Stafford. He's number 10, and I'm number 1 in life-saving endeavors. I'm just telling you the facts. We're just presenting the facts to you. If you want to drink their Kool-Aid and tell you I'm an awful, wicked, dangerous, nasty person, which is they're trying to undermine my credibility because I'm going against them, I'm very credible. They're not credible. I'm credible. I have a JD, Doctor of Jurisprudence, passed the bar twice. They won't let me practice law because I'm credible, and they're not. And when I was on the road, I made more drunk driving arrests than anybody in the state. That's credible. They say I'm a coward. I arrested people at night by myself. I don't think that's very cowardly. I did it. I knew my life was at risk, but I did it for public safety. I'm telling you, they're trying to tell you to drink the Kool-Aid. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't believe them. Trying to undermine me. That's how they have a cult. People that are telling you the truth, they say they're not credible. I'm pretty damn credible. They're not credible. I'm credible. So, and they'd like to hurt me. They'd like to hurt me. They'd like to kill me. That's exactly what they'd like to do. They'd like to kill me. I got news for them. You ain't going to get it done. So, like, share, comment. But I got news for you. You ain't going to get it done. So, Leon Marshall was a trooper just like me. The difference between me and him is he's younger. He got fired. I got fired. He's younger than me. He was younger than me when he got fired. He went to law school after he got fired. I was already in law school. I was already complaining against the Highway Patrol for stuff they were doing. Not violently, not doing anything disrespectful. I even asked my sergeant one time, Sergeant Lion Lowell Russell. He's a state legislator now. Wow. A state line legislator. Lion Lowell Russell. He's a liar. So they put people in power that uphold the system that will tell you to drink the Kool-Aid. They don't put people in power like me that'll say, no, this is not for public safety. This is not what we're here for. We're government officials. They put us in power. We have money to protect the public, not to protect them, which is what they want you to do. Protect them instead of protect the public. So Leon Marshall went to law school after he got fired. Look it up. That's a real case. I'm telling you real facts. After he got fired from Highway Patrol for cause, it was upheld in the Civil Service Commission. They said that he arrested and then unarrested somebody. Now, he had a little legal knowledge, and he found the case where he said that you could do that. And you can temporarily detain somebody to protect them. Now, what he did is he frequented a convenience store. It's Tennessee Highway Patrol. And the job of the highway patrolman is they're traffic cops. As Howard Greenlee, the pervert, would tell me that they're traffic cops. They don't answer calls at residents and stuff like that. They're the Tennessee Highway Patrol. Now, Colonel Tracy Trott, trying to get more power to the organization, tried to change their name to the Tennessee State Patrol. But Tennessee don't want a state patrol. They don't want a state police. They don't trust law enforcement. They don't want a state police in Tennessee. So he got voted out. But it's the Tennessee Highway Patrol. To this day, Tracy Trott, the rogue, crooked liar that he is, tried to change it to the state police, Tennessee State Patrol. They wouldn't change the name though, because people got mad. We don't want a state police in Tennessee. We don't trust you. We want a local police where we can vote them out or in, but so Tennesseans ain't that stupid. So Leon Marshall got fired and went to law school. He was a lot younger than me, under 40 when all this happened. I believe, according to the best evidence I can get, and you can look at his picture and tell. So Leon Marshall was at a frequent convenience stores, which troopers do. Go get coffee, and the convenience store clerk told Leon Marshall that one of the patrons was harassing her. So he told the guy to leave. And he came by one night, and the guy was spinning out in front of the store, pretty much raising hell, and wouldn't leave the convenience store clerk alone. So Leon Marshall went to the guy's house, and the guy was evidently mentally crazy by a psychologist, said that he was. And he arrested him, then unarrested him. So he got fired over that. The Highway Patrol said you should have been out enforcing traffic laws. You should have called the city police department in that area. You're a highway patrolman. You should have been out on the interstate or out doing your job, arresting drunk drivers and enforcing traffic laws. That's not your job. And they fired him. And he even said, if that's on my job, I don't want to be a traffic cop. Well then, why'd you get on with the highway patrol? My thing, I mean, you know, it's a highway patrol, and you don't want to be a highway patrolman, you want to be a city cop, get on with the city. But I knew that I'd have to work Rex. That's one of the determinations that went into the reason why I decided not to work for or put in for the highway patrol. Was I didn't really want to work Rex, but I decided to get on as a trooper, and I was pretty good at traffic enforcement anyway, from UT Police. Channel 10 did a interview with me back before they started slamming me back in about 1994 with Chuck Denny, where they rode around with me and they were talking about UT Police is enforcing traffic laws, has a program out much like the city of Knoxville, and Chuck Denny rode around with me. While I was, they chose me to be their TV star while I was out running radar. So I enjoyed traffic enforcement, and I hesitated in going to work for the Highway Patrol because of bad wrecks. I didn't like bad wrecks, but I decided to. It's kind of been a bad situation we're talking about age discrimination and Bill Lee telling you to drink the Kool-Aid. I was in a bad situation at the University of Tennessee Police Department because I had a Master of Arts degree in criminology. I did an excellent job for them, and they promoted people that were friends with the chief, and I didn't have a chance to get promoted, so hey, let me get out of that organization, which a lot of organizations like that. They promote people based on friendships and stuff like that instead of public safety. So Leon Marshall went to law school. Now, I was in law school before I was fired because I was trying to get away from the Highway Patrol. No hard feelings. I'm working to get out of here. And was already in my first year of law school at Lincoln Memorial University, and then I got Lionel Russell. Came from Nashville all the way down to Knoxville. Came out of internal affairs. Now he worked in internal affairs with at the time was Sergeant Stacy Heatherly. They were working together. They were buddies in internal affairs. Now they learned how to fire people like prosecutors. You can get people fired all day long that do atrocious stuff. That's easy. What floats their boat is to get rid of the trooper that makes more arrests than anybody in the state to convict an innocent person. Yeah, and that's exactly what they did. But they didn't read the data, the person that led the state in drunk driving arrests more than any trooper for the protection and safety of the public. Also, let me tell you a little secret. That he had a skill when he did that, and that skill is transferable to fighting drunk drivers on the road, protecting the public, risking my life for a good cause, because it's worth it. That skill is transferable, Lionel Russell, Major Stacy Heather, to fighting you. And I know how to do it, and that's what I'm doing right now. And over 1.1 million people, this message is getting out all over the world. People know you in Australia, in Canada, in Mexico, in UK, Stacy. They know that you stole valor. How do you like that? They like to limit the message. It's not very limited. You see, you don't give up. You keep fighting. So I'll transfer those skills that I used in drunk driving enforcement to lighting you up, which is exactly what I'm doing. And it worked well. I lowered the fatality rate. And I'm getting ready to try to correct the Tennessee government. Arduous task, but I'm sure going to try, and I think I'm doing a lot of damage, and I'm doing a lot of protection to the public. Don't drink their Kool-Aid. They're liars. Now, they try to discredit me. Look at everything they say. It's a dirty lie. Now, here's why they try to discredit me, because like a lot of you, I'm a little older and a little smarter, and they can't convince me. I've seen what they put in that Kool-Aid, and I'm not drinking it. Look what they're doing to you, Tennessee, and don't go along with the program. We can start at the polls. So I was in law school, and then Larry Russell comes down. They took me off the FTO program and gave it to a lot of younger kids when I could have taught them how to enforce drunk driving laws. Now, Kimberly Ogle, a captain, she retired captain, did that. I had a supervisor change. My supervisors were over the FTO program. They moved to another county, and they put Kimberly Ogle, and she's wanting her Ogle brother, to be sheriff in Sevier County. Good luck with that. She might win. They got a lot of money. They buy elections. They buy the truth. It's not really the truth. They have a lie, and then they pay a lot of money to put that out as the truth. You know, That's how Jim Jones did. Keep putting it out on the microphone. Keep putting it out on the microphone. Well, you know, this is. I wouldn't vote for Kim Ogle's brother. She put younger people in the FTO program, took me off of it after I had been on it. I was teaching people how to make drunk driving arrests. I was teaching people how to lower the fatality rate. I was making a difference. The fatality rate in 2011 was on the way down. And they were putting people in my car with me. I was showing how I did it, training them. I was an older trooper, and I knew what I was doing very well at it. I didn't pick a fight with them, didn't want to fight with them. I really wish the roads weren't crowded with drunk drivers. They picked a fight with me, and they thought that was okay, that I'd just go away. I don't think so. It's not going to happen. I'm going to try the best I can to get the truth out. So I complained about age discrimination, age over 40, because they were promoting people over me. Lionel Russell came down to Knoxville. He initiated a complaint against me. They'd already taken me off the FTO program, gave it to a bunch of little kids that didn't have any education, but they're a little younger clique, and spreading the message I had strong opinions. That's what Larry Russell said. He's got strong opinions, telling some of the younger people. Yeah, I got strong opinions, Larry. My strong opinion is you're a worthless thug that shouldn't be in the legislature, and your hind end ought to be in the jail because of the mass problems that you caused across the state of Tennessee. You got your sign on the side of the highway that says that name a highway after you. That's how you got elected, got free campaign signs. Pretty good trick, but I'm not buying it. I'm not drinking that Kool-Aid, Larry. Turn yourself into the jail where you belong. People in UK know about you, Lionel Russell. So he comes down and initiates a complaint against me from 3 years earlier. A completely frivolous complaint. Had no basis at all. We're a Knox County Sheriff's deputy. The same deputy sheriffs that when I was running for governor that threatened to put me in jail said that I'd pulled the gun on them in the Sally Port when I was bringing somebody in that was drunk driving. She actually wrote a report out that I pulled the gun on them while I'm taking a drunk driver in. I'm doing my job, taking a drunk driver in, and she said I pulled the gun out on them. I didn't pull the gun out on them. And we're talking about Leon Marshall, and I'll get back to that. This is what Larry Russell did that initiated my termination. So he filed that complaint. Now what happened about that is I brought somebody into the jail one time. I arrested this gentleman for drunk driving. It wasn't a gentleman, he was a thug. He was high on drugs and drunk. And he started threatening my family, threatening all the people in my family, trying to get me to do something stupid like choke him or something, which that'll cost you your job and make him some money, civil lawsuits. You know, a lot of officers don't keep their temper. Trying to infuriate me. And you know, that gets under your nose, asking you where you live, tell you they're going to kill your kids. That gets under your skin, you know, that can make you mad. But that's what they're trying to do. So I didn't lose control. I'm like, you know, let's get this guy to jail and get him the hell away from me, which is any smart trooper would do, or any officer would do. I didn't want to deal with him. You know, I didn't want to hear that, and I'd like to choke him, but that's not right. That's stupid. I wrote it on the arrest report. So I brought that guy into jail. We'll get back to Leon Marshall. I'm just telling you about why I got fired. I was already in my 40s, already being targeted by THPP. So I took the guy to the Knox County Sheriff's Department, and I'm wanting to get rid of him because I'm ready to choke him because he's threatening my family, won't know where I live, telling me he's going to kill my kids. And, you know, I'm already hot under the collar. So I got him to the jail, opened the door, let the corrections officers take him out, and he sits down on there, got a little sidewalk. There's the Knox County Sheriff's Department, the professional outfit that they are. And back then it was under Sheriff Jones. And I don't know if he had anything to do with it, but you know, he should have done better. But he sat down on their little sidewalk out in the Sally Port, and he said, and you know, this is factual information. You can ask my lieutenant, well, the sergeant at the time, you know, it happened. So he sits down on the sidewalk, and says his blood, he don't feel good. And so they come out, and they come out, and the medical person comes out and checks his blood pressure and checks him over, and they say, we can't take him, you have to take him to the hospital. And this is a complaint that was 3 years before Sergeant Russell came on my shift. Lionel Russell came out of internal affairs with this buddy, with his, she calls him his girlfriend. And I'm just explaining to you why they took my job as opposed to why they took Leon Marshall's job, which, you know, I don't know, but I know what they did to me. And Leon Marshall's a lot younger than me, and they'd already taken me off the FTO program. So I'm already in law school, trying to get the hell away from that. I mean, I'm not trying to pick a fight with Larry Russell. I'm not trying to pick a fight with anybody. I'm trying to go on with my career. But if you get around trash, if you get around dogs, fleas get on you. So I had to make a living, and I got around that trash. You know, a lot of people do that by marrying somebody. You know, they want a relationship, a family, and they get around somebody that's not very good, and instead of getting help and somebody in their life that benefits them, that's their companion, they get trashed by that person. So that happens a lot too. The Highway Patrol should lift people up. Instead, they step on people. Yeah, that's a good organization. Go work for them. You know, Stacey Heatherly was over here at the University of Tennessee asking people recruiting troopers at the University of Tennessee, but she has no degree. So if you go to work for them, you graduate from UT, she'll ruin your degree. She ruined mine, tried to. So I'm there trying to get this guy into jail, don't want to deal with him, he's already threatened my family. And they said, we can't take him, you need to take him to the hospital. And I got in there as quick as I could, want to get rid of him because I don't want to hear my kids getting threatened. So I'm not going to put him back in my car. It's not going to happen. And they said, you have to take him to the hospital. So I told them, I'm not an emergency person. I'm not a medical person. If he's bad at medical care, it's too bad for y'all to take him to jail. I need to call an ambulance. And they said, no, he's not that bad. Well, I said, well, then take him into jail. My blood pressure's a little high now, too, because he doesn't threaten my children. You know, my blood pressure, can you check my blood pressure? So they're taking care of this drunk thug that's threatening my family, that's driving around drunk that I brought into jail. And so we're having a little debate about them putting him back in my car, and I explained to him, he's threatening me, I'm not taking him in my car anymore. That ain't going to happen. So they walk over, yeah, he's going in your car, try to open the door, and I lock the door. It's not going in my car. That's not going to happen. That's my car, your jail. You don't take him in jail, you're not putting him in my car. If he needs medical professional, then I'm not. If he dies on the way to jail, that's my fault. I'll call an ambulance. And they said, no, don't call an ambulance. You got to take him to the hospital. I said, no, I don't. I'm not. So I got on my phone, called 911, sent an ambulance to the county detention facility. You know, they won't take him. They said, I don't know. They said he needs medical care. And they're not, no, don't call an ambulance. I said, yeah. And so they say, let me have your phone, So I handed my phone. Okay. And you know, when a police officer or trooper calls for an ambulance, they're going to send the cavalry. So you know, they're sending everybody, fire department and a bunch of people. And I'm just telling you what Larry Russell did. Now, this was 3 years before he ever got on shift with me. And it's because the sheriff's department had it out with me because I'm bringing in a drunk driver. This is how professional that outfit is. The same sheriff's department that tampers with witnesses, the same sheriff's department that's too lazy to work a wreck that tells you that they've already given somebody a sobriety test and not for you not to give it one when they're drunk as hell, that ignores drunk drivers. The reason why the fatality rate is sky high. The professional, and not all of them are that unprofessional. The same sheriff's department that killed somebody up here about a mile from my house, that the warrants department did, they hired somebody from THPP that lies on police reports, that their police report in the warrants department, they got one liar in there that says that it was justified, although they have no video evidence. So I'm just telling you, so the sheriff's department tried to put him in my car. I said, no, I called an ambulance. They said, let me have your phone. So I handed them my phone. They said, no, don't send an ambulance. Don't send an ambulance. And so they handed me back my phone. I said, send an ambulance. Because he's not going in my car. So they send an ambulance. And the guy leaves in the ambulance. I go write out a warrant, to be on file for him as soon as he gets out of jail to be served while they take him to the hospital, because I'm not wanting to be around him to listen to that. I shouldn't have to listen to that. That's a little bit overboard. And I told that to the sheriff's department. They didn't care. They was going to enforce their will on me, control. They was going to, and I wasn't telling them, you got to take him into jail. I didn't pull a gun. You got to take him. I didn't do that. That was a lie. So they lost that argument. They didn't get control over me, and they didn't get him put back in my car. And I called an ambulance, and I talked to my supervisor about it and told him what had happened. That they got mad. That he went on an ambulance, and my supervisor at that time, 3 years before, Laura Russell took over the shift. He said, you did the right thing. That's what you should have done. The next time you go in the jail, just keep your video camera on so we can document all this stuff we're trying to do. Now, they got cameras in there. They got cameras all over the place. They recorded. It's the intake center where they come in there, make you put your head against the wall. If there's any kind of confrontation or anything, the inmates get violent and they have to use force, they got it recorded in there. But evidently, you can't trust some agencies. So I didn't know anything about it at the time, but I reported it to my supervisor. Didn't hear anything else about it. The next time I went into the corrections facility, I had my audio and video on, because you got to protect yourself against the line deputies. While I'm doing my job, I'm making the road safer. They're sitting in the jail trying to back up people that are dangerous to society, because they didn't like to get off their hind end and do their job. So 3 years later, I didn't know about it at the time, but one of the corrections officer, a dirty female, a liar, hello, a dirty female corrections officer, got mad because they didn't control me. So she writes out a complaint and says that I pulled the gun on them in the Sally Port that day. That we were dealing with that guy, and I called an ambulance. Now, I pulled out my cell phone, called 911 for him, but she lied. She wrote out a report making an official complaint against me. Amazing. It was on recording. If I'd have done that, I didn't do that. That's a lie. That's a dirty lie from a Knox County Sheriff's deputy. They lie. So, over me doing my job. So, she turned it over to a lieutenant at the jail. And this is what I was told that day. And the lieutenant at the jail said, no. Wadded up. Hell no. You're not turning that in. You're not doing that. Just trying to take down a Tennessee State trooper when there's no evidence, trying to lie. They lie on those inmates all the time. Look what, she's trying to do that to a Tennessee State trooper, but they had no evidence. There's videotapes. I didn't do that. That's a lie. And just think what they do to inmates in the jail. Of course she couldn't lie on me. They wouldn't let her. I mean, that's a little bit harder to take down somebody that's got some clout and credibility. What a dirty jail they run there. Just think if she says that an inmate tries to attack her and they kill him, which there's a lot of dead people end up in that jail. I'm just saying. So, but I didn't hear nothing about it. The lieutenant at the sheriff's department said no. We're not turning that in. And what they should have done is they should have disciplined her over that. They should have conducted an investigation, because she wrote out a bunch of lies. She wrote out some defamation. So what happened is, 3 years later, Sergeant Lionel Russell comes to town and gets out of internal affairs, and he meets that lady, I don't know where, and she brings up that complaint that the lieutenant tore up 3 years earlier. So Sergeant Will Russell wanted to test out his internal investigation skills to see if he can get rid of a trooper that leads the state in drunk driving arrest, while he leads the state in deception. And he was on the board that got rid of Leon Marshall. Testified against Leon Marshall. Yeah. A legislator. How dangerous it is in this state with legislators like Leon Marshall. I mean, like legislators like Lionel Russell. So he meets with her, and then he initiates an investigation from 3 years before. Wasn't even on a ship, wasn't even this time. Already been talked to by a supervisor. He could have talked to my supervisor, said this is 3 years, but he initiates an investigation, gets an internal affairs number over somebody lying on me, defamation, and notifies me of the investigation that somebody alleges I pulled the gun on him, all this stuff. And, you know, I write out a statement. It happened 3 years before. I'm thinking what happened 3 years before. And this Larry Russell initiated this. You know, it's testing. I'm an IA, and I'll get CharlesVanMorgan, you know, test to see if I can get the leading trooper in the state because I'm a dirtbag piece of shit. Yeah, that's Larry Russell. You heard me, Larry. You know, it's a free world. Millions of people across the world listen to me talk about this is the truth. I lived through it. My other supervisor, they didn't turn that over to him. And I pulled up to him one time because he was over here on the other side of the bridge over here after I dropped somebody off at the jail, you know, doing my job while he's running around trying to create chaos. And he said, I need you to go on. I got a meeting with somebody. So he was meeting with the lady that was reinitiating a complaint from 3 years earlier. So they called me in the office a few days later and said, somebody has initiated a complaint with you. And I'm like, about what? And he said, well, remember in 2008 when you were such place? And I'm like, huh? and so you need to write a report about that. That's what this Lionel Russell, you know, internal affairs, bright genius, legislator. Get out of here, all these people in the legislature that had children killed. That's what kind of dirtbag that piece of trash is. And so I had to write out a report trying to remember, you know, I said, what's this, you know, about? And they said, you pulled the gun on me. I told them I brought somebody to jail. We had I vaguely remember an incident about an inmate that they didn't want to take, so I called an ambulance. And I talked to my supervisor at the time, but Larry Russell wants the supervisor from way back, you know. I mean, what an idiot. And I was a little bit perturbed about that. I'm thinking, you know, I didn't tell him his supervisor. I'm thinking, what the hell's wrong with you, dude? I mean, what a freaking idiot. And so he called me at home and is like, I wrote out a little report, best I can remember. He's like, we've cleared you of this, thinking I'd get excited. And what I was really thinking is, dude, something's wrong with you. Something happened 3 years ago, no basis. And so I knew that jackass is a psycho, sorry thing. And then he starts rumors about me having strong opinions and stuff, and making me type out reports while everybody else gets to handwrite them, and making false complaints. He asked me to come to the scales, and I'm just talking about age discrimination. He's a lot younger than me, and Leon Morse asked me to come to the scales to turn in my paperwork when I was getting off shift about 7 in the morning, and then that night gives me a written warning for staying over shift when he's the one that made me have to stay over shift. See what he's doing? He's a dirty man, con man, piece of shit. And now it'd be different if it was just between me and you, you know, just between me and him. But you're talking about the leading trooper in the state of Tennessee that's lowering the fatality rate. So it's not between me and him, it's between me and you. So he is taking away your public safety. He's a legislator now. No legal education. I mean, he's credible. He's a legislator. What he says is gold, right? In the news media. If he called a news conference right now, all the news media in there, listen to Larry, he's credible. But that's no legal education. He's a con man. He's a con artist. He's a dirtbag. His brother got promoted to sergeant because he's a legislator, so it's all in the family. And drink the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid. I have a doctorate of jurisprudence, a law degree. I could be a legislator. Now, I'd make laws to protect you. He makes laws to protect the legislator, protect the governor, protect people in office. Drink his Kool-Aid. I'm telling you, the man, Lionel Russell, what a dirtbag he is. And it's not a vendetta against him. This is to protect the public, because he's still a legislator, and he ought to be an inmate with a number. That's the truth. You won't hear that anywhere else. That's the truth. So he initiated that complaint. And I'm a fighter. He called me one day, complaining about stuff. I was on a traffic stop, and he called me on the phone. You had to answer their phone. They gave you a phone, you had to answer it. So I'm on a traffic stop, have a car stop for a violation, serious violation of law. Larry Russell calls me on the phone. I said, Yes, Sergeant. I said, I got a car stop right now. You don't know who they are, or who they could shoot you, whatever. You need to pay attention to them. They teach you that in the academy. And I said, I got a car stop right now. Can I call you right back? You know what his response was? I don't care about my safety. You don't care about your safety. He said, no, I need, stay on the phone. I got something I need to run through you right now. So I got this car stop sitting in my car. Don't know if they're going to get out and shoot me. I might be in a gunfight on the phone with my sergeant. I'm telling you, that's what he did. Bull, Russell, uneducated legislature. Charles, and they'll say, oh, he's credible. You're not. CharlesVanMorgan, doctor of jurisprudence, master of arts and sociology. I know he's the one. He's the one that drank my Kool-Aid, my idiot Kool-Aid. I'm an idiot. My brother's even a sergeant too. What's his brother ever done? I'm just telling you the truth. They don't like me saying this. Hey, Lowell. Hey, Lion Lowell Russell. They know you in UK. They know Tennessee legislator Lion Lowell Russell, a dirtbag. Don't come to Tennessee, he'll get you. I'm just saying, I wouldn't come to this dirty, nasty state. They say it's dirty, nasty everywhere. It may be, but I know it is in the state of Tennessee. They want you to drink Bill Lee's Christian Kool-Aid. Don't drink it. So calls me on the phone, makes me stay on the phone, risking my life. I mean, how dare you? I should have hung up on him. I didn't. He wanted to know me. He wanted to know about the timesheet. Concerned about the state's finances over my safety. Little Russell, you can go jump in the lake. So I mean that's what I had to deal with, and so I put in a complaint against him through the department procedures for age discrimination. Alleged he violated he was discriminating against me because of my age. In 2011, making frivolous complaints, telling younger people and the department, telling younger people that I had strong opinions. They took me off the field training program. I was working night shift. So, leading the state in drunk driving arrests. Look at this, top 10. And they wouldn't even let me train other people for your safety. It wasn't between me and them. It's between me and you. You're the ones they were discriminating against. So Leon Marshall, let's look at him. So Leon Marshall, like, share, comment. More like rated, okay. Yeah. Okay, so Leon Marshall. Leon Marshall got fired. Larry Russell helped him get fired, a lot younger than me. And then that pursuit happened. That was just an excuse. That was just an excuse. That had nothing to do with people argue about whether I seen that wreck, whether I didn't say it. You're a damn fool. You're a damn fool. My termination had nothing to do with that. It had nothing to do with that. It could have been anything. That had got any reason, whatever. They just picked that reason. It's obvious. Why does a trooper pass up a wreck? Because he didn't see it. I mean, there's no incentive, no reason that I did that. The reason is I didn't see it. Didn't do anything wrong. They lied about stuff. Somebody dead, died of their own doing, and they pick a inflammatory reason. They know that's inflammatory, somebody dying. And they use that. Had nothing to do with that. Perfectly obvious that I didn't see that wreck. They put out the video surreptitiously for several weeks before they even nobody said nothing about it. The public thinking that's obvious. You didn't see the wreck, no big deal. People die in drunk driving wrecks all the time. And people die in pursuits all the time. People die in pursuits where the trooper or the officer actually slams them into something. It wasn't a big deal. It wasn't until they said, well, this is not going along like we thought it would, so let's put the false narrative out with, oh, the trooper's seen it. And then the news media goes right along with what they tell them to say. So Leon Marshall wasn't even in law school. He started law school after he got fired. after he got fired. And I was trying to get the hell out of there. I remember one time I called Larry Russell. This is one of the dirty judges. I called Larry Russell. He was complaining about me, and I asked me. I said, "Can I speak?" Because he's complaining about I don't remember. He complained all the time about stuff. Made me listen to it. And I asked him, "Can I speak?" And he said yes, because you can't. The Highway Patrol is a semi-military organization. You can't just say anything you want to a supervisor. You ask them, "May I speak freely?" It's a semi-military. If they say no, you can't say anything. You got to do what they say and go on. If you can, complain through the administrative procedure around the supervisor, but they'll just back up the brass. So I asked him, "May I speak?" That's what I said. "May I speak freely, please?" And he said yes. So I told him, here's what I told him. This day, Lowell, this day, drunken sot Heatherly, Major, over a catastrophe. Wow, aren't y'all proud? Highway Patrol, look at that woman is over the, so disgusting. They are disgusted. They just won't tell you. They're afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. I wasn't afraid of you back in 2011. I'm not afraid of you in 2012. You better be not violently afraid of me. You stick that finger in my face again, you know, that's what she did. Come to my house. How harassing these people are. Learn to dance, if you do. So I asked him, "May I speak freely?" And he said yes. And I told him, "Larry, a lot of people," I didn't call him Larry, but a lot of people have run over me in my lifetime. None of them have ever made me like it. You're not going to either. They might run over me. They ain't going to make me like it. They might run over you and tell you to drink the coffee and tell you to drink the Kool-Aid. Don't let them make you like it. Because don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't go along with the program. So here we go with the way they get stuff through their crooked courtrooms. Is they promote the judges. Look at this. That's the chancellor that ruled against me. That's her husband promoted to the Tennessee Supreme Court. So sociologically speaking, the governor got his name on the building, Mr. Dirtbag, Mr. Piece of Trash, step over bodies, get $1 billion. So he fired me. Said I saw a wreck, drove past it, trying to ruin my future. I'm 61, I have no medical care. So that's the judge. So she rules that he's right. VanMorgan saw the wreck, ruined his life, ruined his future, because he made a complaint for age discrimination. So all of a sudden, pop, her husband's Supreme Court justice. See how that works out? You rule a lie, rule the truth to a lie, you get promoted. You see how that works out for them? But the truth is, I'm not out on the road protecting society. Look at this right here, Knox County. This is over here in the Baumgardner Courthouse. 3 lawyers tapped as finalists for Knox County Criminal Court. So you rule for the governor promotes you. See how that works out for them? Drink his Kool-Aid, you get promoted. Wow, what a rigged up system. So Leon Marshall contested his termination of the Highway Patrol to the Tennessee Board of Law Examiners. Now he's under 40. He has, and I didn't deserve to be fired. He's under 40. He can go join the military. He can do a lot of different things. Your options are wide open when you're 20, 25, 30, 35. They get very limited after you get past 37. Because you can't get a job in as a federal officer, you can't join the military. So there's a phenomenon, a legal phenomenon, age discrimination. If people or an employment or a government agency, it's illegal. It's federal law, state law supposedly, but it doesn't exist. They won't give you your rights. But you can't treat people differently because of their age. You hear a lot about racial discrimination. You can't treat people differently because they're black. You can't say, "Well, I'm not hiring you because you're black." The government can't say, "Well, I'm not hiring you or they could say they're not hiring you because of your age after you're 37, because you're not capable of performing the job and the retirement issues. But after you're hired, they can't get rid of you, or they can't give younger people the same job as you because of your age, which is exactly what the Tennessee Highway Patrol did to me, get rid of me because of my age. They also get rid of people because of their age, because when you're about ready to retire, when you're close to retirement, if they fire you before you retire, then what happens is you don't get your full retirement. If you get your full retirement, then that takes money out of the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement Plan that you paid in that you don't get. But if they fire you early then you don't get that money that you deserve. So they give that to one of their other supervisor buddies, one of their in people that they've reserved for a captain's position. So that's one of the reasons why they fire older people and keep a lot of younger people, is to keep down the. They have a position open, like a captain's position. They have major positions that they leave open, and it's like a musical chair. They leave that position open. So one of their good old boys, one of the people that backs them, one of the people that contributes to their political campaigns, is about ready to retire, like a lieutenant. Then they move them to captain for a few weeks, and they retire at the captain's position. And then they get that higher pay, which would bankrupt the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System, because the captain's pay is pretty damn high. So they need to make up for that lack of money that they have. And then after they retire, they got another good old boy, move him up from sergeant, lieutenant, all the way to captain, retire him at captain's pay, where he should have retired at sergeant's pay. If he retired at sergeant's pay, his pay would be a lot lower. So when they move him all the way up to captain, retire him, saying, "Thank you, buddy, for worshiping us, for giving our Kool-Aid out." There's a lot of the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System money that's paying them, because they haven't deserved that. They got put in that position. So because they put so many people that are their good old boys in that position and retire them at real high pay, that they got to make up the retirement money. They got to make up for their Tennessee Consolidated Retirement, because they can't retire all their good old boys at captain's pay or major's pay and keep the Tennessee Consolidated Retirement System solvent. It would bankrupt the system. They got too many dogs at the top that are their friends. So how they make up for their deficit in money, because they're giving it to all their friends, they're giving it. They're stealing it. They're stealing it. The way they do it is somebody like me or somebody like Marty Nix that's getting ready, that has just like 3 or 4, 5, 6 years to retire. If they fire them, and they can get it through the system easy. If they fire them, then they don't have to pay them their full retirement. They save thousands and thousands of dollars, because all you get is 18 years of service. If you go all the way to 30, you get the whole retirement. And that's a lot of money that you're owed. You paid it in. But in order to steal that from you, they fire you early, so your retirement's cut off, and they take your retirement money that you would have got and give it to their captain that they promoted, their good old boy, that they retired captain's pay that was just a sergeant, because they keep that position open to retire somebody at high pay in order to get that money there that's not there. It would bankrupt the system. They got to get rid of troopers that earned it, like me and Marty Nix and other troopers they get rid of early. So they rob you and make it legal, and they say, well, we got it. The court system adjudicated that. A court system, the governor promotes judges. The governor fires people. In effect, the governor's Tennessee Highway Patrol. Governor Bill Lee fired me. You know, the one that's got his name on a building, the philanthropist, lying dirty thug that ought to be in jail. I don't care who he is, ought to be in jail. He's a danger to society. He's a danger to himself. He might get hit by a drunk driver out here. He's making the roads more dangerous for his own damn self. What I'm saying is good for him. He don't care a thing about you. I even care about him. I don't want him to be arrested. I don't want him to be hit by a drunk driver. I want him to go to jail where he belongs. I want to take that name off the university over here. Maybe he needs to go to school and get a degree there, study some sociology. Maybe he needs to study some ethics about human decency, because he's not even a decent person. He's a thug. He's a creep. He's a billionaire and a creep. So that's the truth. So that's how they discriminate against older people when they're over 40, about to retire. And what that does is, unlike Leon Marshall, he was under 40, according to the best stuff that I read. You can look at his picture. When they fired him, he went to law school, graduated, and he went before the Tennessee Board of Law Examiners. Under 40, had a lot of opportunities. The Tennessee Board of Law Examiners turned him down for his law license, but did they? He was under 40, he could have rejoined the military, had a lot of opportunities. Older people don't have the same opportunities. That's the reason why it is so disgusting to mistreat older people. You cut off opportunities they don't have. Before I got on with Highway Patrol, I was under 40. They took me away from a state job. Before I got on with them, I could have went to other places. I didn't know they'd discriminate against me. They did. I filed a complaint. That's the right thing to do. You don't go in and shoot people up. Blah, 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 blah. You write out paperwork. You turn it in. Expect that will be adjudicated fairly, legitimately. Look into the complaint. Let you come and argue your complaint, which is what I'm doing now. They discriminated me for my age. I was over 40, took me off the FTO program. I was leading the state in drunk driving arrest by their own standard. Hundreds of awards. Why couldn't I be an FTO? I was already on the program. Why would Ogle, the rich person that bought her captain's bars, take me off the FTO program and give it to younger people that didn't even have any education, didn't have any job performance? I was the leading trooper in the state for drunk driving arrest. Leading older trooper in the state for any performance. Not the oldest trooper in the state, but I was leading the state in what they consider one of the most important things they do, removing drunk drivers off the roads. Less people were killed. I'm not telling you to drink Kool-Aid, I'm telling you facts. I had a Master of Arts degree in criminology. They took the FTO program away from me and gave it to younger people. That's what they did. That's what Kim Ogle did. Now Kim Ogle wants you to elect her brother as sheriff of Sevier County so she can continue to get you to drink Kool-Aid. They're going to make Sevier County safer. No, they're not. They're going to make Sevier County more for the power elite. She retired as a captain. She's a dirty thug dirtbag that bought her position. And I wouldn't vote for her brother. I know people in Sevier County don't vote for Kim Ogle's brother. So she's very proud of him. Yeah, is she going to go to work for the sheriff's department and promote younger people over older people? So let's look at this. Hey Kim, how you doing? How you doing? You think I'd go away? So here's Kim Ogle. And she's wanting you to elect Chad Ogle. There's Kim. Yeah. Big old movie star that she is. Took me off the FTO program. Now she's wanting you to promote him so they can discriminate against older people. Gave it to younger people. That didn't have as many drunk driving arrests, didn't have job performance, that did not have an education like me. Had a Master of Arts in criminology. Gave it to people who killed people on the roads accidentally and on purpose by not following the law. FTO gave it to her little younger clique. You know, now she's old. I wouldn't discriminate against her. I wouldn't vote for her brother. So I made this complaint to the Highway Patrol, and I expected then that I would get an honest ruling, an honest decision from unbiased people. Got back a letter that said that there was no discrimination by Larry Russell and THP. Yeah, there was. And then that pursuit happened and they got rid of me and lied about me and tried to disparage me. Say, Colonel Tracy Trott said, there is no way, I know for sure that he's seen that wreck. No, I know for sure that you're a lying piece of dirt. So here, the fatality rate. Now here's the fatality rate. This is why it's not just bitter. It's between me and them and you and them, because you're more likely to get killed on Tennessee roadways. Look at this right here. Look at this. The fatality rate skyrocketed. When you take the leading trooper off the road, there's consequences. DUI Officer of the Year. People killed on the roads. So it's not between me and you. It's between you and them. That's who it's between. So that's a problem for you. It's not just a problem for me. So don't elect Kim Ogle's brother, Ogle, to sheriff. He might win, I don't know. People still drink the Kool-Aid. And here is the 10th person on the list. This is in 2012, right after they fired me. Dwayne Stafford, Trooper of the Year. Look at his daddy. Who's his daddy? His daddy is Captain Mark Stafford. So it ain't about job performance. Look at that, Trooper of the Year, big old fancy man. Yeah, he shot and killed somebody, had a wreck. That's his daddy. Who's your daddy? He'll get my retirement money. That guy right there will get my retirement money. Dwayne Stafford. So I'm telling you, that's how these people do. So I went to get my law license, and I was already in law school, unlike Leon Marshall, who started law school after he lost his job at THP. I was already trying to get the hell out of THP. And then they lied on me and got me fired wrongly. Leon Marshall is under 40, and he went to the Tennessee Board of Law Examiners to get his law license. He went to the Tennessee Board of Law Examiners to get his law license. Now he's under 40. Got fired from THP just like me, under 40. I got fired from THP wrongly. They shouldn't have done that. They did wrong. They lied. They committed perjury, lied under oath. They're bought and paid lawyers. And he went, didn't even have an attorney, didn't have witnesses from supervisors at THP, didn't have the evidence that I have, didn't have an attorney, didn't present evidence. Went and talked to him and under 40, and they gave him his law license. They gave him his law license after he got fired from THP. Here I am. This is under Lisa Perlin, the dirty Board of Law Examiners, the blocking the door, the age discrimination, cutting off opportunities for older people. They'll do this to you too. If you're over 40, you know, they got it out for you because you think on your own. So Lisa Perlin, she's responsible for this, Nashville Board of Law Examiners. So I went before them to get my law license after I was already trying to get away from the Highway Patrol. I can't help it that they fired me and judges lied on me. I can't do nothing about that. I was out saving people on the roads. So I go before her with an attorney, with a lawyer, with witnesses, with list of awards, bunch of them, to try to get a license to represent you in a Tennessee courtroom, just like Leon Marshall in his 30s was trying to do after he got fired from the Highway Patrol. I don't know if it was justified or not. Didn't have an attorney or anything. I was trying to do the best I could to get my law license. How dare I try to get my law license? Now, they licensed Leon Marshall, gave him his license to practice law, passed him on, gave him his license. CharlesVanMorgan in his 50s, they said no. No, and I didn't even deserve to be fired. I led the state in drunk driving arrest. I had a lawyer. I had witnesses. I had numerous accolades. And because I'm older, they wanted me to lie to them and say, under oath, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, because I swore to. They wanted me to say they were going over the same thing that they fired me to years earlier. They wanted me to admit to a lie, drink the Kool-Aid, say, you seen that wreck, our judges were right, our system is legitimate. Say that. You have to say it or we won't give you a law license. And I'm not going to say that. That's not what happened. That's not the truth. You're liars, Lisa, and I'm not. You're even criminals, and I'm not. So drink the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid. Go in here to these courts, and these are people that license attorneys. These are people that are over your system of legitimacy, that enforce rules and laws, that put people in jail. They're not legitimate. They're not legitimate. Don't drink their Kool-Aid. So that's the message for today, is don't drink their Kool-Aid. So here's the Nashville School Law. So like, share, comment, and contribute if you can. And so we got the haters in here. I appreciate it. We ain't got many viewers today, so at least we got the haters in here. That's a good thing. So here's my degree from the Nashville School of Law. And here's Lisa Perlin. And here's my DI enforcement, outstanding enforcement. That's 2010. I showed you one for 2011. Accolades, accolades, accolades. Leon Marshall doesn't have that. What advantage Leon Marshall had? Leon Marshall's a lot younger than me. They can convince him to drink the Kool-Aid, can't they? They can't convince me to. So that is wrong for a number of different reasons. But they have, and they'll do it to you too. They'll do it to you too. They have cut off my opportunities. Unlike Leon Marshall, that they turned him down. He was in his under 40. He had a lot of opportunities. Could have joined the military. I can't join the military. Could have got a federal job. I can't get a federal job. Had a lot of opportunities that he could have had. They turned him down for his law license. CharlesVanMorgan, that joined the Highway Patrol before he was 40, that thought I would get a fair chance at promotions and stuff, went to law school trying to get out of there. They wouldn't let me. Not only did they not let me get out of there, I mean, just let me go, you know, like a bad wife. Just let me go. Just leave me alone. Let me go on my way. You know, I did a great job for y'all. Y'all said I did. Just let me go. I was in law school trying to get out of there. Just leave me alone, Larry. Let me finish law school. I'll get out of your damn hair. You can be an idiot and run the Highway Patrol. I don't want no part of that sick organization. I don't like it. And that's the reason why they did that. I was trying to get out of there. They won't let you go. They got to put a little bit of stench on you. You got a little stench on me, didn't you, Larry? Ha ha ha, that's good. You know, you should be lifting people up. Because when you fight the wrong dog, he ain't going to give up. You got that, Lowell? This ain't about me and you, Lowell, you dirty dirtbag, you little pea-brain. You endangered the public, endangered yourself, endangered your best friend that got hit by a drunk driver herself. So, I tried to get my law license in my 50s, in my 60s, try to get my law license. Don't have a lot of choices. There's not a lot of jobs I can do. I'm 61 years old. I can't dig ditches all day like I could, like Liam Marshall could. So, the best job I can get is driving a taxi. I got a JD, Master of Arts in Criminology, got awards on top of awards, but I ran into Lionel Russell and Major Stacy Heatherly, who have no education, have a training in dirty, and they're up high in the agency in THP, and the governor, the Christian governor, wants you to drink the Kool-Aid and tell you that they're good people, and he runs a Christian organization. He don't run a Christian organization. He's trying to tell you a bunch of dirty lies and promote people that back his nasty ass up, because he's a nasty man. He's a sick man. He ought to be in jail. So join the movement. And that's pretty insidious. I don't even have medical insurance. I'm 61 years old. don't have medical insurance. Because they cut my medical insurance off so they can give a few more dollars. So Governor Bill Lee, the Christian man that he is, Jim Jones, Methodist, Bill Lee, Christian, so he can give a few more of his donors, wealthy benefactors, promotions for dollars. So, but they had to have my job in order to fund the retirement program of being solvent. Now that's just a fact. You can drink the Kool-Aid if you want to. I've lived it, I know it. I'm not violent and dangerous. They are. They are. That's what I think. What do you think? So he promotes judges that rule in his favor. They're trying to tell me, these judges right here say I don't have a First Amendment right. They literally adjudicated, and they'll adjudicate against you too, that our First Amendment rights aren't unlimited, but theirs are unlimited because they're judicial rulings. They can say anything. They can say anything. They can say anything that they want to say under judicial rulings. It's completely exempt from civil litigation. But my First Amendment rights, telling the truth, will get me a social order protection according to these dirty judges. So look at this right here. We'll read this over. This is their court rulings. Support power to the people movement, not politicians. Paid for, authorized, CharlesVanMorgan. Say they steal your tax money. Lisa Perlin. Imagine that. Unjustice Clark, who is the relative of Major, the Major of the Highway Patrol, now convicted federal felon who turned down my law license while she was committing an admitted felony of dishonesty, saying, although I committed no crime at all, I lack candor. Lisa Perlin, that's her right there, Nasty Lisa. Justice Clark, I think she's deceased now. And Barbara Zulica, who was committing a felony at the time that she told me I can't have my law license. Margaret Bim. Oh, Margaret, what a dope she is. Now she said that she could understand why somebody lied because they were somebody in upper echelon of state government. She could understand why Larry French lied, signed a letter that I turned into him, and then revoked the letter and signed another one. But she couldn't understand why I didn't report to my law school the final outcome of the case with the Highway Patrol that I was trying to get my job back, because the final outcome hadn't happened yet. So she couldn't understand why I didn't report the future to my law school. But she could understand why somebody lied under oath because they weren't trying to get their law license. So that is Barbara Zulica. Now, you have to listen to these people if you try to get your law license. You have to listen to them on a recording. They build these people up like they're gods, and she's nothing but a dirtbag into politics. So the legal system is political. It doesn't have anything to do with justice or what's right. It's all politics, and that's what that dirtbag's about. How you doing, Margaret? You piece of dirt. You ought to be in jail. Inhibiting the system where Tennesseans can't get good attorneys. So these are lawyers right here that say that you don't, us, the populace, me and us, don't have a First Amendment right, that we don't have a right to speak. That's limited, but their rights are unlimited because they're protected by the judicial immunity. But my rights, if I run against the governor, are limited, and your rights are limited. We don't have a right to the First Amendment. That's what they're trying to tell us. That's what the Tennessee judiciary is trying to tell us. We don't have First Amendment rights. Let me tell you what, Justin Christie Davis, I got a damn First Amendment right. You're not going to tell me I can't speak. I'll speak. I don't care what you say. You're an unconstitutional, unjust judge. You shouldn't be on the bench in Tennessee. I got a right to speak out against you. I got a right to pass out flyers, show your face all over the state, and say you're an unconstitutional judge. Now here's the unconstitutional judge. Judge Christie Davis. And here's another one. Rule setting for governor for money and power. $6 tax on civil criminal cases marked for General Sessions Court judges. French calling French beats these people. That's Judge Breyer. Tennessee Judge Davis, Ferguson, and McBriar cover up courtroom criminal acts by their buddy Judge McMillan violating the Constitution, interfering with the people's campaign for governor. So they violate your constitutional rights. This judge here ruled that I don't have a constitutional right to freedom of speech. My right's limited, while her right is unlimited, given that power given to her by the governor. What a dirtbag. And they all adjudicated, those judges all adjudicated that I don't have a First Amendment right. They adjudicated that we don't have First Amendment rights, that our rights are limited. Sure, we can't yell fire in a crowded theater. Sure, we can't threaten somebody with physical violence. We got a right to run for governor. We got a right to file complaints through their procedures, or do we? No, we don't. We don't have any rights according to her. These judges are promoted by the dirty governor. Drink their Kool-Aid. Listen to their rulings. Their rulings say you can't speak. Like Jim Jones, you can't speak. You can't speak out. You can't talk against these people. You don't have a First Amendment right to. You don't have a Constitution. You don't have a Fifth Amendment right. That means nothing to them. I got the same thing they got. But my degree means nothing. Their degree means everything. How does that work out? It works out well for them, doesn't it? Drink their Kool-Aid. Drink their Kool-Aid. That's what they're trying to tell you. Run for public office, and they showed me in a jail photo where I was wrongfully arrested. Works out well for these dirtbags, doesn't it? So, and here is a close-up picture. The judge adjudicated tail lights on the car. There ain't no tail lights on that damn car, is there? But a judge ruled there's tail lights on. Wow, imagine that. These damn judges in the Tennessee state, Tennessee, appointed by Jim Jones, Bill Lee, Christian, both of them, lie for him. And they will try to shove the Kool-Aid down your damn throat. So yeah, I'm just telling you, don't believe their dirty lies. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. It won't get you anywhere. Because this is what the Kool-Aid will get you. The Kool-Aid will get you killed. Look at these people. Look at these people right here. Over there. Lyon Nichols caused more Tennesseans to be killed on Tennessee roadways, and her buddy Sharman Tissue Allen, who's the prosecutor now. So don't drink the Kool-Aid. So we got a few people in here. Like, share, comment. So drink his Kool-Aid. Bill Haslam, drink his Kool-Aid. Fatality rate skyrocketed under him. Skyrocketed under him. Musical chairs with the promotions, taking mine away, and other people like me. Look at that. Governor Haslam, name on the side of a building. My name's on a degree. Name on the side. Drink their Kool-Aid. Drink their Kool-Aid. They're telling you they're great. Jim Jones told you he was great. Happened November 8, 1987. And promoted this woman here to major. She's major right now, who is in uniform on patrol February 7th after she was hit in a car wreck on comp time. Not supposed to be in a uniform on comp time. Look at the date, February 7th. February 7th, full uniform. Look at this right here. First day at work, February 26th. That's 2 different dates. How's she back at work when she's back at work before, when she's on comp time, not supposed to be working? So drink the Kool-Aid. Governor Bill Lee promoted that thing to major. So, CharlesVanMorgan, news you want to hear, corrupt people in government power. And that's exactly what the hell they are. They're not good people. They're dirtbags. So, vote these people out of office. One of the reasons they got rid of me because I have faith in God. Now, here is, I went to the academy with Colonel Matt Perry. Colonel Matt Perry. Went to the academy with him. Class 404. I know Matt Perry, the Colonel of the Highway Patrol. He has no Master of Arts in Criminology. He has no Doctor of Jurisprudence. He's a lot younger than me. Cut off my opportunities where I don't even have medical care. There's more than one way to kill somebody. You can put a gun to their head, blow their brains out. You can get rid of their medical insurance when they're in their older age, lie on them, put a stench on them where they can't even get another job, defame them, lie about them. Where you try to go get another job after leaving the state drunk driving arrest, making a legitimate complaint for age discrimination, but that pisses them off. You know, you can't do that. And put a stench on you and say that you saw somebody burning to death. So you got an education, you do your job performance, and you're older. So you try to go get another job, and people say you're the man. This is what Matt Perry says. Matt Perry, over the Highway Patrol, younger guy, no education. His daddy and his people in government power that are judges didn't get promoted because he saved society, that he made more arrests than anybody in the state. I went to the academy. I know the dirtbag. Now he got promoted because one of his relatives, close relatives, former Supreme Court justice, his daddy was the captain over the academy. I met him in the academy. I know he's in the academy. So this is what his agency did. His agency that he's over, he's got no education. He's a babbling idiot. But he's got there not through public safety, through lying to you. So get rid of me in my older age so that they can fund their troopers that they are in their good old boys that are contributing to their campaigns. So they get rid of me. This is Matt Perry, and then put a stench on you where you can't get your law license, and because you're older and they know that you'll fight for what's right. You can't get your law license. Although Leon Marshall, a younger guy, got his law license. You go get another job and you're that guy that drove past somebody and let some kid burn to death. That's not true, but so you try to go get another job. You're 60 years old, try to get another job to get insurance, get medical insurance, go on with your life, and you can't do it. But because they're not going to hire you because the Highway Patrol lied on you. So you got a master's degree, you got a JD, you led the state in drunk driving arrest. Let me show you all my awards. But because of skanks like Matt Perry, because who your daddy is, you can't get medical insurance. So there's more than one way to kill people. So thank you, Matt Perry. You'd like to see me dead. I mean, try to go to the hospital. I've had emergency stuff that's happened to me. Go to the hospital. They'll take care of you. And if you're a trooper, if you're him, then you'll stay 2 or 3 days. But if you got an emergency, they'll sew you up, and I about passed out while they're trying to help me out the door, while they're trying to help me out the hospital door, because I don't have medical insurance. So they just do what they absolutely have to. Last time I had to go to the hospital, serious medical issue, had to go to the trauma unit because of a incident that happened, and they patched me up, and about 2 hours later, don't have money, and I'm paying the medical bills. I'm paying on it a little bit every month. I'm responsible for paying it. I'm paying a little bit every month, paying the ambulance bill. I pay $50 a month on it, and pay the hospital physician's bill a little bit on it every month, because I don't have medical insurance, because THP took it away from me. JD, MA, led the state, Kim Ogle, took it away from me. They don't care. They don't care. I mean, wow. I'm just telling you, drink their Kool-Aid. They're good for you. I was good for you. They're not. They're liars. They're good for themselves. There's some sick people. So Matt Perry, big old Matt. Ooh, yeah, what a dirtbag you are. So I was at the hospital, and I literally passed out, them trying to get me out the door because of the injury that I had happened. And they wiped me down and waited for a few minutes till I was able to get up without passing out again, and help me out the door in a wheelchair. Put me in my car, because I don't have medical insurance, 61 years old. I mean, thank you, Highway Patrol. I'm glad I got associated with your trash. That's why I trash y'all. You see them driving down the road. Woo, watch out. You'll get trashed. That's what they are. They're a trash agency, good for nothing. I led the state in drunk driving arrest. They lied on me, put a stench on me. Can't even get a job anywhere because of them people. I'm just telling you the truth. Can't even practice law because of Matt Perry, because of the system in charge, because of the judges that adjudicate in their favor in order to get promoted. That's just the truth. So drink their Kool-Aid. Drink it. I'm not drinking it. And I could go along with the program and lower my head and say, well, I'll bow my head to Jim Jones. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, and especially when they have a governor that claims to be a Christian. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going along with their crimes against humanity. And the Board of Law Examiners that turned me down, they make $765,000, almost $1 million tax money, fees from federal student loans. They make that much money to turn me down from a law license. Wow. They get paid to do their dirty. You pay them to do their dirty. Drink the Kool-Aid. You're paying them for it. They got it real juiced up for you. And we have local news media. Local damn dirty news media. Look at this. Look at this local damn dirty news media. That run me down. They say that I'm angry with the Highway Patrol. That I have a vendetta against them. I don't got a vendetta against them. They got a vendetta against me. Let me go. Clear my record. Let me get a job. Say your lie's not true. Adjudicate the truth. But they won't do that. But a local news channel that says that, and I'm not even going to tell you the name of them, that says I'm angry about how the Highway Patrol did me. I'm not angry about it. There's nothing wrong with that. Justified angry. It says I'm bitter. I'm bitter. No, I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. I'm protecting society, even from you. But they need to speak up a little louder, because here's the news channel that said that. That said I'm bitter because I sat down and interviewed with them and told them about this stuff. I'm hoping they put out the truth to get Governor Lee kicked out of office. But here's the channel. Here's the new channel. And for all you haters in there, and this is what scares the government. This is what scares the government. And I want y'all to get this. This is what scares the government. The government is afraid of exposing their wickedness. Their exposure, public attention to their dirty, causes them to have to straighten up. They like to lie to you, and they like to have people lie for them. They like to discredit people that are telling you the truth. Governor Lee doesn't act like a Christian. He promoted somebody to major that's dangerous to you because he supports their political campaign. So here's a news channel that is putting out false stuff about me, and here's my channel. So we'll just compare this. So look at this. He's got 11 views, 19 views, 16 views, 12 views, 14 views. Hey, Stacy, Heatherly, look, you drunken sot. Drunken sot. Stacy, look at this. That's how many people are hearing me call you a drunken sot. Major of THPP. You got it? And I'm on it. Like I was on Drunk Drivers. I'm on you. Look at this. 26,000 people. He's got 11 calling me bitter. I got 26,000 saying he's worthless. Nobody's listening to me. You better yell bitter a little bit louder. Nobody's listening to you. Look, it's 15,000 people listen to me call her a dirty idiot. 27,000 people. 19,000 people. 26,000 people. And that's not even close to how many. So people that are defaming me, you better yell a little bit louder. Nobody's listening to you. You better yell, I'm bitter, a little bit louder. I'm not bitter. I'm telling the truth about these people. I'm telling the truth about the government. They made rulings that contradict physical evidence. Got photos, videos, and technical data I've shown y'all. I'll show you some more in the upcoming days. Ignored or refused to admit evidence that would have cleared me. They refused to allow their own expert to testify. Bruce Siddle, listen to his testimony. Won't you listen to it, Colonel Matt Perry, the highly educated fool that you are? Won't you apologize to me, clear my record so I can get a job, get some health insurance? Won't you do that? Let a man live, because you're a dirty thug and your agency is worthless. Entered false statements into the record as if they were facts. Yeah. How about Mr. Joe Walker? That's a member of the sheriff's department now. That the warrants department killed somebody and he lies on entered false evidence numerous times. Joe Walker, Sergeant Terrell Johnson, who lied under oath. They entered false statements. This is judges. So drink their Kool-Aid. Drink their Kool-Aid. They replete claims or accusations that previously been disproved or dismissed. So they brought up stuff. I had my personnel file. I got it from a previous complaint, and then when they were trying to terminate me, they added stuff in my personnel file that wasn't even in there, or claimed they were legitimate when before they claimed they weren't. Prevent a person from defending themselves or presenting exonerating evidence. They wouldn't let me bring expert witnesses. Use hearsay, rumor, and unverified claims as a basis for decision. This is what the Tennessee court system do. Allow government agencies to use previously dismissed, sealed, or non-existent findings as justification for actions. Misuse procedural hearings to intimidate, silence, or retaliate against someone for speaking publicly. Interfere with an individual's ability to campaign for elected office. Wow, I got a mugshot when I was running for governor. Thank you, Bill Lee. Yeah, will you bow down? Help, Governor Bill Lee. Weaponize legal processes to restrict First Amendment speech. I got a court ruling from Governor Bill Lee's judges that I do not have a First Amendment right to speak. They do, but we don't. Applies rules and standards differently depending on who held the power. Ignored sworn testimony, witness statements that can conflict with their preferred narrative. So I had an eyewitness on the scene that verified that the car wasn't seeable, didn't see it, and they changed that. Wow, amazing. Honest judiciary in the state of Tennessee. Can't practice law in my 60s. More than one way to kill somebody. Look what they're trying to do to me. Made findings that were not supported by any evidence in the record. They adjudicated that I seen that wreck. How do they know that? How do they know that? That I seen it identified as a wreck? That's not true. That's a lie. Testified under oath. Evaluated the credibility of institutions over the rights of citizens. Protect insiders while punishing whistleblowers. I made a complaint for age discrimination. Yeah, they discriminate against my age. Refused to investigate complaints, instead investigating the person who filed the complaint. Look at Marty Nix. Look at Marty Nix. Made a complaint for sexual harassment. You know, we got people out here like Jeffrey Epstein. What if somebody complained on him? Well, if he was in government service, it ain't gonna work. Because Marty Nix complained on a lieutenant in the Highway Patrol, and they fired him. They didn't investigate the complaint. The complaint was legitimate. A lieutenant with THP under a captain, secular. Marty Nix, a trooper, complained about it. They fired him. They protected insiders while punishing whistleblowers. Complained about sexual harassment. Refused to investigate complaints, instead of investigating the person who filed the complaint, and then fired. Used authority to intimidate and suppress accountability. Drank their Kool-Aid. Relied on personal relationships or professional alliances to influence decisions. Look at everybody in the top of THP that's promoted. Check their last name. See who else before them was in a high-level position. It ain't about job performance, it's about who's your daddy, who you're related to. That's what the Highway Patrol's about. So treated citizens as the problem instead of the misconduct being reported. Summary. Evidence didn't matter, procedure did. Truth wasn't determined, it was declared. The system didn't correct wrongdoing, it protected himself. The system wasn't accidental, it was coordinated. A system that can rewrite reality is more dangerous than the people it is supposed to judge. That is what they're trying to do to you. Rewrite reality, ask you to drink the Kool-Aid, and defame the truth tellers and the people that are out here, that were out protecting you. So let's say we got people got in here. We got not that many, but it's a slow day in Knoxville. I think YouTube is sanctioning my videos. Look at the great view. So we'll just stay on here longer. I got my hat on. I blackened out the other part, just my state hat. So thank y'all for joining us today. We may be back Monday, may not, I don't know. We need to get funded. At least hit the like and share button. And let me show you this right here, how Lowell Russell got promoted. The man that originally filed the complaint against me, a false complaint from 3 years earlier, when he wasn't even over me, made a false complaint about me. Let's look at how he got promoted. Let's look at how he got promoted. And he's a legislator now, and y'all voted for him. Y'all voted for him. $5,000 by THP sergeant position. Okay. State records show Cooley received dozens of letters from people across the state wanting to recommend troopers and trooper candidates for higher promotion. Some of the letters were sent. He had told to stay away from THP, but he forwarded them anyway, according to records. One such letter was from Major Bredesen contributor Charles Lee of Mattisville, who gave the governor 2002 campaign $5,000. Records show Lee wrote Cooley on July 29, 2005, asking that Trooper Larry Lowell Russell be advanced to sergeant. 5 days later, corporal was request on Fred Phillips, then safety commissioner. Russell's name was then added to the promotion list. Only 2 days later, yeah, that's how Larry got promoted. Now he's a state representative. $5,000. So troopers, go arrest all the drunk drivers you can find. That ain't gonna get you promoted. Ain't gonna get you promoted. What's gonna get you promoted It'll cost you about $10,000 now to contribute to Bill Lee's buying Kool-Aid for people's fun. Because that's what the damn dirty bastard does. So yeah, he got promoted. So let's talk about in the academy with him. I was in the academy with him. We got lower views. We'll keep on talking. I ain't gonna let this intimidate me. So he was in the academy with me. I showed you the little class 404 THP Academy. So I know him personally. Now here he's beside somebody that shot at somebody. He got written up. I got written up for defending my life. He got promoted. So I was in the academy with him. So he is Daddy's sissy boy gave him top THP job. He was the only class protected by Daddy to not get sprayed with chemical spray. So I was in the class with him, and he didn't get sprayed with chemical spray. Now, he's got his name on the colonel's thing. I got sprayed with chemical spray. They protected him. I got my name on a degree. Look at this right here. Master of Tennessee Academic Transcript says Master of Arts 12/15/2001 Sociology Criminology. Sociology. I got my name on a degree from the University of Tennessee. See that degree I got my name on? I study. I know about criminology. Yeah, and so I got sprayed with that chemical spray. He didn't even get sprayed with that spray. Class 404, I know him. He won an election in the academy. He won an election in the academy because of who his daddy is. Because we had an election in the academy trying to decide who would be the president of the class. And I didn't vote for him. I voted for another guy. And people voted for him because they were led to believe, maybe justifiably, that if you voted for the captain's son, he was in the class, and his daddy was over the class. His daddy was over the class. His daddy was over the highway patrol class. His daddy was captain of the class when Matt Perry was in the class. He got elected as class president. We had an election. The students, all the cadets, got to vote for who would be the class president. And what do you know? Matt Perry got elected to class president. So he won an election in the class. How did he get elected class president? How did Bill Lee get elected over the state of Tennessee? Because people in the class knew, they put out the impression that if you voted for him, the class would be easy. Oh, they'd take it easy on him. They wouldn't try to get rid of everybody. And they would be real good to people. It'd go easy on people. Everything would be just fine. But if you didn't vote for his dad, for the captain's son, then they had already shown people for the first few days in the academy, they come in there and start yelling at you, raising hell, threatening your job, threatening to fight you and beat you up. Literally. So they literally knew that that's the captain's son. So if we vote for the captain's son, then what's going to happen is that we're gonna be just fine. The captain will be happy with us, and we won't be mistreated So go along with the program to protect ourselves and make it easy for us. So vote for the captain's son. And they voted for the captain's son, and things went pretty good. We didn't, you know, it was a pretty easy class. We didn't get mistreated, and things went pretty good for us. So I'm trying to find what I've already showed you. You can look earlier in the video where Governor Bill Lee, former Governor Bill Lee, has his name on the side of the building, but he doesn't have his name on a degree. So how did he do that? He bought power. He bought his name on the side of the building. And I have my name on a degree. And they buy power, not by job performance, not by what they deserve, by lying, cheating, robbing, and stealing, and defrauding Tennesseans out of their money. And here's Bill Haslam's name on the building, just side by side. I got a fan there. I got a fan there watching me. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, here's my degree. Haslam School, College of Business. So you don't have a degree from there. And here's my name on a degree. Here's my name on a degree from the University of Tennessee. Master of Arts in Criminology. Look at Haslam's name. Master of Arts Criminology. Look at that. Haslam. He's got his name on a building. Got his name on a building. A dirty man that he is. He's got a name on a building. I got my name on a degree. Wow, amazing, isn't it? So I did the job, I did the work, and he stepped over bodies to get money and bought a building, a public building. Haslam got his name up in lights. Woo, 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 woo. Fancy man, ain't he? Haslam. But look at this. CharlesVanMorgan, 2001. And I earned that. I studied, worked, learned. And look what it is. Criminology. So, and look, Haslam. College of Business. Now I learned from that criminology degree that Haslam is a criminal. See, I got my name on a University of Tennessee academic transfer. Haslam, yeah. So he's a thief. He's a crooked man. And here's what he got elected. Money. Buying it. So we started this show out by talking about drinking the Kool-Aid. Governor Bill Lee got his position bought by Haslam because they shut down opposition. Tell you people that speak out against him that we're not credible. No, we're credible. They're not credible. So, guys, watch me on his phone, stopping. Yeah. So, here's the counter tactics that we can fight the government. We must understand government criminals. Jim Jones, Bill Lee, the criminals. They want you to drink the Kool-Aid. They want to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. My name ain't just on the side of a building. My name's on academic degrees where I've studied stuff. I know stuff. They don't know stuff. Like all criminals, government commits crimes. These crimes are to be found, their operations plans and training for their acts. While on duty, there are many indicators we can watch for. When we spot these indicators, pass it on to my anonymous YouTube survey. In the section, we can no longer say that doesn't matter. The following are some of the indicators that have been compiled from sources to all levels of the our intelligence. While not all these indicators very important that you have an understanding anonymous survey, questioning and reporting possible activity. You must be compelled to complain, report when you encounter suspicious activity in government power. We can detect, deter, and disrupt. Judges, people in power, government power are criminals. They want you to drink the Kool-Aid. Jim Jones ran the town, Jim Jones town. Governor Bill Lee runs the state of Tennessee illegitimately. So that's report stuff to my YouTube channel. On the anonymous survey. On the anonymous survey, don't listen to their lies. And also contribute to the channel. Hit the Cash App or the square icon. We're getting some donations coming in. Hit the square icon or the Cash App. And if you can't contribute, then that's fine. I understand that. And then don't. I don't want people to give money that they don't have, or if it'll hurt them substantially financially. Don't hurt yourself financially. We'll be okay. But if you can give, buy me a cup of coffee. Actually, you won't buy coffee. You'll buy paper and ink and stuff. Let me get this in here. For me to put out stuff on YouTube. So you'll buy paper and ink and equipment for me to put out stuff on YouTube to get the message out. So, and if you can't contribute, that's fine. Hit the like button and share and subscribe. And we may be back on here Monday morning. And if we have news to show, we will be at the news live, up close and in person, boots on the ground. And if you want me to advertise for you, then let me know and email me at CharlesVanMorgan at gmail.com, and I'll be glad to advertise for you. And I will be glad to speak if you want me to speak at your local business, your bar or your church. I'll be glad to speak. Just write me, CharlesVanMorgan at gmail.com, and I will advertise your business. I'm going to speak there, and we'll go speak at your business. We'll go speak at your business, and I'll advertise. So we'll try to get you some customers. So if you want me to speak at your business, let me know. At your church or business, and I'll advertise for your company if you want me to. I'll advertise on my YouTube channel and carry a sign. I'm at the busiest bridge in Knoxville, where they funneled all the traffic in Knoxville. They closed down the Gay Street Bridge right over here. That bridge is closed down. That bridge is closed down. So there's only 3 bridges in Knoxville. The interstate bridge, no, I'm not going to get out on that bridge. Almost got hit by a truck on that bridge one time when I was a trooper. And the South Knoxville Bridge, now we may get out on there, I don't know, but so that bridge is open. The interstate bridge, South Knoxville Bridge, hello. And then the Gay Street Bridge is closed down over there. So beautiful view. And so this is the main bridge through the downtown Knoxville. So they funnel all the traffic through this area. So you have to come this way or the interstate, because you can't go Gay Street Bridge. So this is a heavily trafficked area that there's a lot of eyes on this part. And there's also up on Chapman Highway, people turn left on Moody to go to they have to turn left on Moody they go to the South Knoxville Bridge coming down Chapman Highway. That's the only way to get to the South Knoxville Bridge is on Moody. There's another shortcut that people usually don't know. Or come down Chapman Highway, this bridge. So even further up on Chapman Highway, at Moody, we'll hold your sign out and advertise for your business. And during a heavy peak hour in the morning for a small advertising price, and try to get you customers. And also we'll advertise live while we're on YouTube, advertising for your business. So we're fishing for business, for you to advertise with us, and we'll get you some business. And also, depending on, if you're a legitimate business, email me at CharlesVanMorgan@gmail.com, and I'm offering to get you some business at your company. If you're a new car dealership, I can advertise for you. Get a lot of eyeballs on your car dealership. And you can ask them when they come, how'd you find out about me? And I guarantee you a bunch of them will say, we seen a man hold the sign out, Charles Van Morgan, out on Chapman Highway. So we can get you a lot of business, depending on the dealership. Now there's a couple of dealerships I won't advertise for because you done me dirty. But the right dealership, we will advertise for you. We might be able to work out a deal. We can get you some business through my YouTube channel. I got 1.1 million people that have listened to me through being at a location in Knoxville, downtown Knoxville, where, this city's got several 100,000 people that have to go to work in the morning, and we'll be at a busy location. So if you're on here and you know a business that might want to advertise to us, then let me know. A car dealership or whatever, we can get you some business where you can make some money. So contact me at CharlesVanMorgan@gmail.com, and we'll work out the details and advertise for you. And I will advertise here on the bridge for your company with a sign, and also advertise verbally on the show, on my YouTube show, to go visit this business. That they're paying us money, helping the Power to You the People movement, funding our advertising, and we'll advertise for you here on the bridge on the YouTube channel. It's got over 1.1 million people, and I'll also advertise with a sign on Chapman Highway at Moody, where people have to come down this way or go the other way. So you're gonna have thousands and thousands of eyes on your advertisement on the sign, as well as a YouTube broadcast that broadcasts over 1.1 million people. So, we need resources and money to get the message out. So if you want me to advertise for you, I'll be glad to. CharlesVanMorgan@gmail.com. Email me. And if you know somebody wants to advertise, let me know. I'm also selling a book. I'll send you an electronic copy of the former Trooper Charles Van Morgan story, in an effort to save lives and correct the record. And I'll sell you that book it's $149 email electronic copy. And I'll sell you a hard copy for $199. If you'll write me and send me the money, I'll send you a hard copy of the book. So it's got got about 15 chapters, and it tells the whole story. So, and it gets the truth out. So if you want the book, it's $149. Email me with the money and I'll send you a copy of that. Email a copy. If you want a hard copy, I'll sign it. Send me $199 and I'll have them write the book out, and I'll have them print the book out. I'm only printing them on demand, and I'll send you a hard copy book. So that's 2 ways that we're trying to earn a living. I'll advertise for you. If you're a legitimate company with a sign on my YouTube channel, sell you my book. Sell you my book for $149, $199 hard copy. You know, that's a lot of money, but it's a lot of information, and we're not going down on it. You won't get a special deal if you wait. I'll throw the book in the river before I give it away. And also I want to mention the bed store. The bed store, they at Chapman and Moody, the man there's a veteran, and he allowed me to advertise when I was running for public office at his store. Allowed me to put a sign out there. So patronize his store, very good man. And also the corner market in the UT area, the guy allowed me to put a sign out there when I was running for public office. So visit the corner market. Real nice people down there. Corner market in the UT area. So if you're from UT and listen to me, hello, I got you all students. I know how you feel. I was a student there once, unlike people in government power, unlike the man with his name on the buildings that exploits people. And so those 2 places. And also there's a football game Saturday. So go Vols. And there's a lady that sells UT t-shirts and UT football memorabilia. And if you want to come by and get a beautiful shirt, one of my favorite shirts is a shirt that she sells. So she will probably, I think she's located at Chapman Highway and across where the old Cass Walker store used to be, across from Shoney's on Chapman Highway, right down from McDonald's on Chapman Highway. There's a Wendy's, a McDonald's, and then you'll find that lady in that parking lot. It's right across the street from Shoney's, and buy a beautiful shirt from her. She's a real sweet lady. She allowed me to put up a sign in her yard. A lot of people did, and I thank y'all. If you're out of business, you let me put a sign up in your yard, I'll be glad to advertise for you too. But those are the people that I know about. So those two businesses, and I'm doing that because advertising for them, because they're good people, and they're really good people, and they deserve your business. They're great people. I thank them so very much. And here's a sign for the mattress place here on Chapman Highway, and I'll show you his billboard. I'll advertise. He's got a billboard up here, so he wants your business. Very good man, a former veteran, and these are good people. They trusted in me, had faith in me, and let me put my yard sign advertising my campaign when I was running for city council in their yard. So I appreciate it. And also let me mention today my company Safe Taxi that I have here in Knoxville, that it's the only job I can get because the state highway patrols run my name. I can't use my doctor of jurisprudence, even in my older age where I don't have a lot of life opportunities. I mean, there's a lot of things that age cuts off your opportunities, a lot of things. And the state highway patrol is cut down my opportunities committing age discrimination against me, and can't practice law. So I have a taxi business. I have my own business. I operate that business. So if you need a ride here in Knoxville, there's a football game coming up Saturday. The longer the better, because taxis get money by mile. So here's the business. Here's the business that is a mattress store. Now that is a business I want you to go 2 miles ahead on the mattress store, and it's 2 miles ahead. It's at Chapman and Moody. 2 miles ahead on the right, and I'm down here at the Carnes building. So 2 miles ahead on the right, the mattress store, and I'm down here at the Carnes building. So so patronize that store, and we'll go right up here where this lady sells t-shirts and UT stuff. So Saturday there's going to be a football game. She'll be out there Saturday, and so go buy a t-shirt from her and go to the game. Beautiful shirts. I mean, one of my favorite shirts, one that this lady makes. So go buy a t-shirt from her. I think I paid $50 for it, but it's well worth $50. Beautiful shirt. I see some people wearing them. I got a black one, and it's got white letters on it. I'll probably wear it next Saturday. So go buy a t-shirt from her and visit the bed store. You've seen the sign there. And my taxi business, if you're here in Knoxville, then call Safe Taxi Knoxville. And so we're going today to the Knoxville Police Department to get the vehicle inspected, and I'll have a new sticker. I've decided to keep the business going for another year. So I hadn't planned to do this. I was driving a taxi to get through law school, but the dirty state government won't give me my law license, so I had to continue driving a taxi. So if you need a taxi ride, then Safe Taxi Knoxville. The longer the ride, the better. The bigger the tip, the better. So we'll keep doing that, although I don't have medical insurance with it, but we're still hopeful. So and also we're going today to get the sticker put on the car. The vehicles are inspected by the Knoxville Police Department, and I have to get my driver permit where they fingerprint me every year, and there's a number on the numbers on the taxi. They have to have a number of the car and everything. And taxi drivers, unlike Uber and Lyft, which I won't drive for them, we have to be fingerprinted, so they know who I am. So taxi drivers, they know who you are. So if you commit a crime, then they know exactly where you live at, know who you are. You got your thumbprint down. But Uber and Lyft and those other companies don't have. They have people that download information on a phone. I could download your information on a cell phone and be talking to people under your name. be driving people under your name. All you have to have is a cell phone. I could download your driver's license information, download my bank account, and be driving under your name. So that's a big difference between why you should take a taxi instead of Uber and Lyft where available. Now I understand that. So here's where that lady will be Saturday. To like, share, and comment, contribute if you can. Here's where the lady will be Saturday to sell UT football shirts. Is right down here at the Kaz Walker store. There's McDonald's. And then right next door, she'll be there Saturday selling t-shirts, UT football t-shirts. So go there and visit her. So yeah, go there and visit her and buy a t-shirt. Real good lady. Let us keep her sign in her yard. So not only have to watch out for cars, bicycles. So go visit her tomorrow. And so advertising, remember that. If you know somebody wants to advertise with us, we'll get them some business by putting their information out on YouTube, holding a sign out on a busy highway, and CharlesVanMorgan@gmail.com. If you want to buy my book, then CharlesVanMorgan@gmail.com, and we'll sell you my book. My taxi business is open. I'm going to go get the permit today. Taxi drivers are thumbprinted, so they know who I am. So their taxis are safer than Uber and Lyft, and depending on the time of day, a little bit less expensive, because the Uber drivers can charge whatever they want to, or the Uber company can. They raise and lower the fares depending on what's going on. If there's a football game going on, they charge more because of high demand. Taxis, we are regulated by the city of Knoxville under the city of Knoxville taxi rules, and we can only charge $2.50 a mile and $5 initial. And then if you have more than one person, it's $2.50 for each extra person. So if you have like 3 people, then the first person, you don't have to pay more. And the other 2 is $5. So the fare would start out with 3 people. It would start out at $10, and it's $2.50 a mile. Now, and doesn't matter if there's a football game going on, if there's 10 people waiting, or if on a regular day where there's no business, it's the same, almost none. It's the same fare, it's the same price. You don't have to pay any more. And if a taxi driver commits a crime against you, you don't have to call Uber and track down who it is, and then they find out it's somebody that's driving under somebody else's name, because we have our thumbprint. They know who we are. They know where we live. So it's safer. And also a taxi driver has a driver permit that's displayed where everybody can see it. When you're driving down the road, you can tell if it's a legitimate taxi. And you might get in an Uber car you think's Uber, and it's not Uber. But you can tell it's a legitimate taxi because the driver will have an ID card that says driver permit issued by the city of Knoxville. And they'll have driver permit, and he's supposed to have it displayed. I do mine where you can see it, where you can see the driver's name, and it has an ID issued by the city of Knoxville. And they give it to you after we go down and get fingerprinted, and our name gets sent through the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, so they can see if we have any criminal offenses or major offenses that would keep us from being able to drive a taxi. So like if you had sexual offenses on your record where you sexually abuse people, they wouldn't give you a permit. Where Uber or Lyft, if you can't get a permit, then you'll drive for somebody else. So we have to be cleared through a background investigation that's sent through the FBI. They do it every single year. Uber and Lyft drivers don't have that background investigation every year. Taxi drivers do. So through the city of Knoxville, we go to the city of Knoxville Police Department to get the driver permit. They take a picture of us. They have us go to get ID'd, where we put our fingerprint down, and give us an ID card. So we are ID'd and a background investigation through the federal FBI NCIC thing. So you're a lot safer in a taxi. So if you get in a taxi and they don't have that ID, it's not a legitimate taxi. And also I'm talking about my business, patronizing my business. I'm here in Knoxville, and I'll be glad to help you out with the ride. And we have a luxury car. It's a 2024 BZ 4X Limited, a luxury Toyota vehicle. And also, every year the vehicle has to be inspected, which is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go have my taxi inspected at the Knoxville Police Department. They check the lights and the meter, make sure everything's right, make sure we're not overcharging. They don't care if we undercharge. Make sure we're not undercharging. The meter has to be put in by somebody that knows how to do it, and the mileage and everything has to be right, where it don't charge you more for mile than what's supposed to. So the mileage is regulated and checked by the city of Knoxville. And then every year they put a sticker on the front of the car, on the windshield, the driver's side front windshield. They put a sticker that says City of Knoxville Taxi. And every year they change the color. This year it's blue. So I don't know what color, if they give me one today. I'm going applying for the sticker. It costs $100 for them to inspect it. It costs $50 every year to get the license, since I'm already been in business for about 11 years. So that's another way I make money, since I can't practice law. I'm getting money through YouTube. I've been monetized. I make about $1 a video. Average is about 20 cents a video. So that's what I'm getting videos. And I work on the videos. I spend about 4 hours every day researching, reading, and looking at the issues that I'm going to talk about. And I also base it on my legal education. I have a doctorate of jurisprudence, so I talk about a lot of legal issues. And I also have a Master of Arts in Criminology. So a lot of my stuff is based on my education in criminology. So we got fewer viewers today, so we'll just talk longer. I'm not going along with the program. So and I spend about 4 hours a day researching the topics and stuff I'm going to talk about, and I broadcast about 5 days a week. So if we hear of news events, then we might skip the morning and go live with boots on the ground to wherever the event is taking place at. And we mainly broadcast live. So we might have a few recorded videos every now and then, but probably not usually. So that's the way we support the channel. My taxi business contributions. If you can hit the super chat, go ahead and if you can't, that's fine. If you can't, subscribe to the channel and hit the like icon. And hit the Cash App if you can, or the square icon. So that hadn't been done in a long time. We do have some super chats and the taxi business, and we'll also advertise. So those are means that we advertise. So we'll do some more reading and studying and talk about another issue probably Monday morning. And we'll continue as long as we're funded. We're hoping to build up. We've had over 1.1 million people in the past less than 3 months broadcasting to you. So if you're an advertiser and want to advertise, we think we probably get you some business, and also the location that we'll be at. So let me thank you all so very much for your time. I appreciate people listening to me, and I appreciate all the viewers I have, even some scumbags on here. Even some scumbags on here, thank you all too. You're helping the show. I don't get my feelings hurt. So we're down to 12 viewers, 58 likes. So give me a few more likes, maybe up to 60, and I will shut the hell up, or maybe not. But I appreciate your time so much. Thank you all so very much for spending some of your time with me. Over 1.1 million people. And my name is Charles VanMorgan. This is the Charles VanMorgan Show. It's unbridled news from an educated, life lived perspective, stuff you won't hear anywhere else. I'm going against government power. I'm going against people who have already punished me and put me in jail and defamed me. But I'm in a position, I'm in a circumstance where it doesn't matter, because if I get on YouTube and make a damn fool out of myself, big deal. They've already alleged falsely, lying on me, saying that I drove past a wreck and seen a kid burning to death, and made my degree of none effect, and destroyed my ability to make a living elsewhere. Where are you going to get a job at when people say that about you? And they've got it through a crooked legal system, in spite of people saying that's not what happened. In spite of people with expert testimony saying that's not what happened. In spite of people that know what they're talking about. In spite of people on the scene that said, that's not the way it happened. That's not true. In spite of perjury and fraud by state government officials. So where can I go down? Where can I lose anything from what they've already said about me? I can't. So they've got me in a position where I feel free to speak out. Now, I had a man the other day that stopped me on the bridge and was asking me why I was doing this, and he said that he knows that, and he prefers to stay silent and votes because he's concerned about retaliation. And that's fine, but I'm on the front line because they've already attacked me, and there's nothing they can do any worse to me. So I'm in a little different position than a lot of people, because it really doesn't matter now, because they've already done their dirty, and there's nowhere I can go but up. If you see the logic in that, they've already said bad stuff about me, horrible stuff. That's not true. None of it's true. None of it is true. It's disgusting. And the Highway Patrol is disgusting to do that to somebody. And that's what they do. They put a stench on people. The Tennessee Highway Patrol, the Major, Stacey Heatherly, the Valor Still, they put a stench on you. So there's nothing they can do to me to make it any worse. So I have nowhere that they can make it worse. The only thing I can do is potentially make it better. Now, I don't know if I can. I don't know. You tell me, can I make it better? I'm hoping so. One of the ways to make it better is through broadcasting the truth and putting the truth out there, getting my side out. Now, they got their side in false judicial rulings and judicial corruption. Now, these judges have a doctor of jurisprudence. These judges have positions in government power with authority to make legal rulings that carry the weight of law. I have the same degree as they got. I have passed the same bar that they passed. And I'm like you. Why can't I get anywhere? Why can't I get anywhere? It's because they got a boot on my neck and they won't let me. And I'm telling you, for your own safety, protection, and well-being, they got a boot on your neck and they won't let you up either. That's the reason why you don't have anything. So I'm in a little different position than what they are. I really don't care what people think, because I know what they think. That's why I can't win an election, because they got their boot on my neck. So the only way I can win an election is to continue getting the word out, continue putting the truth out through a YouTube channel, and continue trying to make grounds. So I ran for governor, and a white supremacist got more votes than me. Somebody that posted a sign that said "Make Tennessee White Again" got more votes than me. Wow. So there's a lot of prejudiced people in Tennessee. I ran for, and I might run for office again. I'm just because they're trying to discredit me doesn't mean that I'm not credible. It means that they're not credible. It means that they're trying to discredit a voice that should get out. So listen to me and not them. So I ran for governor and got less votes than somebody that was a white supremacist, and got less votes than a Knoxville person who got convicted of assaulting someone. So and I've never assaulted anybody. Got arrested and told that I don't have a First Amendment right. Got sued into court while I was running for governor to keep me off the campaign trail. And I'm still going. They're stopping me. I don't believe a damn word they're saying. I'm not drinking their Kool-Aid. So I got low views, I think, because YouTube is sanctioning my videos. They've even demonetized some of them, saying they're not worthy to be monetized because of some of the stuff I say against people in government power, which is the truth. So they'll demonetize you if you tell the truth, right? Well, I'll keep telling it. I mean, they're going to take 20 cents away from me, or $1.50. It doesn't matter to me. I'd rather tell the truth, So I ran for city council here in Knoxville, and I got the least amount of votes of any candidate that ran, with a doctor of jurisprudence and a Master of Arts in Sociology and emergency management training. I have emergency management knowledge. That means that I know about protecting the public as far as fire hydrants, keeping fire hydrants full. And so I'm just saying, I mean, it's not because I'm not qualified. It's not because I'm not educated. It's not because, past performance is a good predictor of future performance, what you did in the past. If you're an NFL player and you've caught 50 touchdowns and you're open for business and you want to go to another team, then they're going to look, hey, he caught 50 touchdowns for the Tennessee Titans. Maybe if he comes to work for us, he'll catch 50 more touchdowns, or maybe he'll improve and catch 60. So when I was a Tennessee State Trooper and also at UT Police, I did my job. I did it well. And the state defamed me and took my job away from me. So I got 4 viewers on it. We'll keep talking. Maybe I'll be talking to myself till I'm done. So like, share, comment, and contribute if you can. So it went back up to 16. Okay, so thank y'all for watching. So I ran for city council and got less votes of any candidate. How did that happen? Because I'm not qualified? No, it's because of Jim Jones. Drink the Kool-Aid. He convinced 1,000 people to drink the Kool-Aid. So because I'm one of the few that didn't drink the Kool-Aid, I'm going to shut up? No, it's because I'm right. I know I'm right. I've got an education. I know how they mistreat people, and I know how they convince people to drink the Kool-Aid. So just because they convince people that they shouldn't vote for me doesn't mean that I should listen to Jim Jones. It doesn't mean that I should listen to Bill Lee. And I'm telling you, don't listen to him. And there's nothing he can do to convince me that I shouldn't have won the governor's office, or that I shouldn't have won city council. So they had a guy running for city council. They had a man running for city council that's a felon. He ran from law enforcement. Similar to the man that ran from me. Several people ran from me. Sometimes you can't catch them. You do the best you can. So they had a man that ran from the law, committed a felony, evading in a car is a felony, And here's how bad the people in the government hate me. They put out mass dissemination of falsehoods against me because they know that I'm dangerous to their lies, that I'll expose their lies. So they spend a lot of effort. Bill Lee spends a lot of effort, Haslam spends a lot of effort and a lot of money in demoralizing, dehumanizing me and criticizing me falsely. Now, they don't do it directly. They pay other people to do it. And spread a false narrative, a false message about CharlesVanMorgan. So when I run for public office, there's people that are obviously, I've never been convicted of any felony. I've never been convicted of any crime. And I have a JD. They can't take that away. They can say whatever. I still have a doctor of jurisprudence. I still have a master of arts. I still have a bachelor of science degree. I still have an associate degree. I still led the state in driving arrests. You know, Major Stacy Heatherly got mad to take my awards away from me, to take my MAD award, stuff I'd already got. In 2011, I got a MAD award, the same year she had me fired illegitimately. And not only did I make drunk driving arrests, I also led the state. I stopped a multi-state crime ring in the state of Tennessee. So drink their Kool-Aid. You know, they're trying to sell you lies about me. That's not true. And look at the people that are getting more votes than me and tell me that there isn't a well-organized, initiated effort to dehumanize and demoralize somebody that's as qualified and has benefited society as much as me. There's not one out there that is. The reason that they're doing that is because I'm a threat to people in power and a benefit to you. Look what I did in the past, lowered the fatality rate. It's high now, sky high now, under a major that's a crook criminal that ought to be in jail, that stole valor, Major Stacy Heatherly. So I ran for city council, and somebody that ran from the law got more votes. A felon got more votes than me. Why did that happen? You say, oh, you're just a horrible kid. No, it's because they intentionally, with forethought and malice, went on a mission to run me down. They didn't go on a mission to run the convicted felon down. He got more votes than me. They left him alone. They intentionally, people in government power, people in office, intentionally went out on a mission to publicly to criticize me, not them directly. They just did it through other people. So I'm telling you, you can't believe these people in power. And when a convicted felon or a racist, two racists got more votes than me, and you know you're not racist and you know you're better for the public, then you know there's a little rigging going on in the elections. So does that mean you ought to quit? No, it doesn't mean you're quit. Do you see me quitting? I'm not going to quit. They're not going to do that to me. So we're going to take a little break, and I'm going to continue the dialogue and explain to you what the state of Tennessee is doing to me, and try to build up my videos and my volume to get a truthful message out. So you can look at a good picture. Take a break here. I'll be right back here in just a second. So look at a good picture of the road there. So hello, we're back on here. So yeah, I got more people watching than I did when I was on here. So thank y'all for hanging in here with me. We will continue the dialogue. So people got more votes than me that are convicted felons that are racist, obviously racist. So does that tell you that maybe there's a concerted effort, organized, well-concerted effort to keep my voice from getting out? And just look at the facts. What is my voice? My voice is someone who has a doctorate of jurisprudence, passed the bar twice, that protected the public more than any trooper in the state of Tennessee. CharlesVanMorgan. A lot of people know me. But the government, people in power, have intentionally, with forethought and malice, tried to keep me down. And organize the people in power. Now, people in power hate you and are trying to demoralize you more than people who are obviously racist and obviously criminals and felons, or somebody that's never committed a crime, convicted of one. I mean, obviously I've done minor things, you know. Sociologists will tell you if through your childhood you never committed a crime, you're not a normal person. I mean, kids do stupid stuff. So I've never been convicted of a crime. So why are they trying to keep me down? Why do I get less votes for every election I run than anybody almost on the ballot? It's because there's a concerted effort by Jim Jones, Bill Lee, and Bill has been. I've even got my name on a degree that he's got his name on the building to keep me down, to keep me from succeeding, to keep me from winning any public office, because they know if I win public office, that I will get a special prosecutor's office to investigate the criminals, the thugs, the dirtbags, the wicked people that they are. And that's what scares them, because they got a hell of a lot of skeletons in the closet. They don't have to keep the convicted felon down because they're not a threat to them. They don't have to keep the white supremacists down because they're not a threat to them. CharlesVanMorgan is a threat to them and a benefit to you, the populace. So that's why that I haven't been able to succeed in elections. But I believe, and hopefully y'all agree with me, that if I keep getting the message out, and this is getting out to 1.1 million people, that eventually we will break through and be able to win an election and be able to straighten the state of Tennessee out, and be able to be a benefit to citizens, to the mass populace that they lie to, that they have tried to convince you to drink the Kool-Aid. So don't drink the Kool-Aid. Jim Jones, November the 18th, 1987, 1978, convinced 1,000 people, the most part of 1,000 people, to drink Kool-Aid that was poisoned by psychological tactics. And those people, not every one of them were psychotic or crazy. They were just like you and just like me. The Jim Jones' best customer, Jim Jones' best victim, was somebody that said they can't do that to me. They won't do that to me. Because people that say they won't do that to them aren't watching out for it. Everyone is susceptible to media bias, to government lies. Everyone is susceptible, even me, to deception, to deceit, to fraud. Everyone is capable of being deceived by people, especially people in government power that hold legitimacy. So if you think that the people in Jamestown, that Jim Jones led astray we're freakish, psychotic people, that won't happen to you, then you're wrong. And and that's his best customer, because he can use his deceit on you without you being able to recognize it. So the way to avoid that is to realize, and I realize that I'm susceptible to deceit, to fraud. I'm susceptible to people deceiving me. I'm susceptible to government lies and fraud. And you are too. You're susceptible to that. You can be deceived. You can be defrauded. If you think that it only takes weird or strange people to get in Jim Jones' situation to drink the Kool-Aid, then you're wrong. The next thing you know, you'll be drinking Kool-Aid thinking, I'm too good for this. This is real Kool-Aid. It's not poison. No, anybody can be deceived. To realize that is protection against you. To realize that everybody's susceptible to deception by fraudsters, then that is your protection. That's a big part of your protection, because that makes you be aware of it. You're out looking for it. You're conscientious of it. To think that, Lord have mercy, that can happen to me. I wouldn't drink poisonous Kool-Aid. There's no way in hell I'd drink that. That makes you susceptible. They like to hear that, because they know that you think you're too smart to be deceived. And that's not true. You are not too smart to be deceived. So what I'm saying is, be on the lookout for it. Be on the lookout for deception, for government fraud, for deceit and lies. Because I'm telling you, they're out there big time, a lot of them. And they will lie to you. When you hear a court ruling, don't just think, well, hey, that's a court ruling from a judge. That's legitimate. That's the facts. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's a court ruling by a judge that is appointed by Jim Jones. You heard me say that. That's a court ruling by a judge that's appointed by Jim Jones that's trying to get you to drink the Kool-Aid. Let me rephrase it. That's a court ruling by a judge that's appointed by Bill Lee that wants you to drink his Kool-Aid. He's a Christian man. He's a fine Christian man that stands beside somebody that's a crook, that's raised your fatality rate, that he promoted, that's making the Kool-Aid for you to drink. So be aware and look around. Don't just listen to what I say. See if I got facts and evidence to back that up. Don't just listen to what I say. Look on the internet for Leon Marshall. Leon Marshall. Look on the internet for him and see if he's a licensed attorney now. Read if he got fired from the Highway Patrol. I'll mention his name. See if that's a reality. See if Leon Marshall is younger than me, under 40. Why'd he get his law license? Why would CharlesVanMorgan, that has more education than Leon Marshall, not have his law license, when CharlesVanMorgan did a better job than Leon Marshall? I mean, look at the facts. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid. Just drink it. Ain't no poison in there. I'm telling you. There's poison in that Kool-Aid that Bill Lee is selling you. Now, if you're a Trump fan, Trump don't even like Bill Lee. Called him a rhino. So, if you think you're not deceived by the government, or you can't be, then you can be. I can be deceived. I'm aware, conscientious of deception, of people doing stuff that could be harmful to me. Now, I wasn't when I was 20 years old. I thought the world was just and fair. But and a lot of my viewers are older, and thank you all. God bless you all, and I appreciate the privilege of your time. Thank you for joining me. But older people have life experiences, and we see and know that everything that we see, that we're told, is not true, because we've been there, done that. We've had life experience. We've lived stuff and seen stuff that the news media and people telling us that didn't happen the way we seen it. And we're like, yeah, it did. I seen it. It did too. I know it did. I was there. I seen it. And they'll tell you again, no, that didn't happen like you seen it. And people that are older, even people that are older, maybe say, well, maybe that didn't happen the way I seen it. Maybe they got a point there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't see it accurately. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You seen it accurately. They're lying to you. They're trying to sell you something that's a dirty damn lie. So even if you're older, realize that you're susceptible to deception. When they try to tell you something, they do in government power all the time. They try to tell you or sell you something, even if it's a government official, even if it's a judge, even if it's the governor, the mayor, whatever. If they try to tell you something that you know is not true because you've seen it with your own my four eyes, then don't believe them. Don't drink the damn Kool-Aid. Realize that's not true. That you are susceptible to deception, even when you've seen it with your own eyes. But it's a little bit harder, younger people, to know the difference between truth and falsity because you haven't lived through some stuff that older people have. So one of the best ways you can get some real good information is talk to a lot of older people that have lived through things and ask them about what they know and lived through. Don't just take the government's word for things. Listen to people who have lived through stuff. They know what the hell they're talking about. If you want to know about Vietnam, for example, you want to know about Vietnam, don't read the accounts and historical events of Vietnam because a lot of them are not accurate. Don't read the news accounts of Vietnam. Don't read the stories and the lies that they tell you. Go talk to a Vietnam veteran. I have. I know what he says. I know what they say. Vietnam was hell. Those soldiers did the right thing. They didn't kill innocent children. They did not. The Vietnamese used innocent children as shields trying to kill Vietnam soldiers. They fought back and defended themselves. So one of the best ways you can find the truth is if you will listen to honest people that are older, that have lived through things and seen things. So if you're wanting to find out about a historical event, as far as you can, go talk to the people that lived through it. They'll tell you the truth. And you'll say, well, wow, that doesn't go along with what I heard on the news. Or that doesn't go along with what a dirty Tennessee judge said. That doesn't match up. Who's telling the truth? The truth teller is the older citizen that knows what the hell is going on. The truth teller is CharlesVanMorgan that knows what the hell's going on. Not the fake news media. Not the lies that they're trying to tell you. So we'll keep fighting this battle. We're not gonna let the State Highway Patrol continue to win. There's nothing to do now. There's nothing to do to me now. So we'll fight back. That's the position I'm in, is a position to fight these people back. And they did too good of a job where it doesn't matter, but they haven't finished. They'd like to kill me. That's the reason why they put me without insurance, trying to kill me and my family, which is pretty dirty. But they've also endangered themselves. So if you're on here with me, take a break. We'll give you just a few minutes. Take a break. We'll be right back on here in just a second. So take a break and I'll be right back on here and continue the dialogue. We've been on here 3 hours. We'll keep getting views and videos and getting the message out about crooked Tennessee. Don't drink the Kool-Aid is the topic. Don't drink the damn Kool-Aid. We'll turn this around. Oh, shit. So welcome, Charles Van Morgan Show. So we're coming up on an over 3-hour tour. We're talking about don't drink the Kool-Aid. So thank y'all for joining. We appreciate your time. Like, share, comment, and contribute. So thank y'all for watching the show today. The commentary has been don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't believe people in government power. Don't believe their lies. Look back behind the curtain and look at who's telling you what, because it's a cult. They use control. They undermine the truth, and they limit the other side. My message getting out, and they twist the truth. They gaslight you. That's how the Tennessee government does, run a cult under Jim Jones. Jim Jones was a Methodist preacher. He was a faith healer, using religion to get people's attention. Bill Lee is a Christian that uses judges to perpetrate falsehoods. He uses judges to perpetrate falsehoods against me. He uses judges to limit your access to the court system, your access to lawyers that will represent you. He uses lawyers that will convince you to plead guilty. That's what his lawyers are there for, convince you to plead guilty and to pay them money. He won't let lawyers like me in the courtroom that will tell you to exercise your constitutional rights. The First Amendment, your freedom of speech, because they have adjudicated, the Tennessee courts have adjudicated, drink the Kool-Aid. They've adjudicated that I don't have a First Amendment right. So I need to obey that. Obey that Tennessee judge that says I don't have a First Amendment right. I mean, you want me to, I got to be quiet. I can't, excuse me, Bill Lee, I'm sorry, I'll get off here. I'm not apologizing to that dirtbag for anything. I have a First Amendment right. And my First Amendment right is not something that they can take away. I can give it to them. You can give them all your rights. You can give them Fifth Amendment right. You can agree to talk to them. You can agree to give up any right you want to give to them. You can agree to drink the Kool-Aid if you want to. Go ahead. I'm not going to. I wouldn't ask you to. But if you want to drink it, you can drink the Kool-Aid. You can drink their legal rulings that tell you that it's not right for a man that has an advanced degree in criminology, that has a doctor of jurisprudence. You can drink the Kool-Aid and believe that I shouldn't be a lawyer, or that I'm not candid, while criminals, pedophiles are Tennessee attorneys. At this day, they can represent you. You can call an attorney right now this day, and they got them lined up. Some of them pedophiles, some of them formerly convicted of infamous crimes will line up, and they'll be glad to defend you because they're approved by Governor Bill Lee. They're approved by the governor to convince you to plead guilty. That's what they're there for. If they don't convince you to plead guilty, to go along with the program, whether or not you're guilty or not, if they don't convince you of that, then they won't be attorneys. That's their job, to convince you to go along with the state prosecutors. That's the job of attorneys. And if they won't do that, like me, I won't do that. I would go into court and I would argue for your constitutional rights. I would argue that you have a First Amendment right. They can't arrest you for speaking out on the sidewalk. Is that what they arrested you for? They had no right to charge in your house without a valid warrant and kill one of your family members, which is what they did about a mile on this road. They had no right to do that. I would fight for your rights. But if you do that, they won't even let you in the door to defend you, defend the public. So this fight is not about me. It's not about me. It's about your rights to hire me to defend you in our public courts that are owned by you. It's about your right to hire me to defend you in the courts, to defend your constitutional rights, to defend your First Amendment right, your Second Amendment right, your First Amendment right to freedom of speech, freedom of the press, your Second Amendment right to bear arms against the government, to protect you from the government. That's what that right was for. I mean, you can watch all you want to. And it was a needed right. I'm not saying do that now. And talking about drinking their Kool-Aid. And I would have defended your Fourth Amendment rights to unreasonable search and seizure, for them not to be able to come in your house without a valid warrant, without justifiable cause, without having some rogue judicial commissioner signing anything that they put in front of them. I would have fought that in a courtroom. They don't want that. They don't want the truth pointed out because it'll make them look bad, because it'll make them look like criminaloids. Look it up. A criminaloid is what they are. Criminaloids are people in high office in the public government that violate your rights, that make it more dangerous for people, that make what you do criminal and make what they do a blessing to society when they're very harmful to society. I would have defended your Fifth Amendment right, your right to due process, your right not to be compelled to testify against you, your right to a fair procedure, your right not to have liars commit perjured evidence in a courtroom against you, which all this stuff I've spelled out. Listen to my videos I've done. They want you to drink the Kool-Aid. So they will tell you that I don't have a First Amendment right. I don't have a right to say that. I just said it, Bill Lee. I know he's got had one of my leaflets on his desk. So tell me I don't matter to them thugs. And that's what they want. They want to convince me and you that we don't matter, that our voice don't matter, that no one will listen to us. And yeah, they will. 1.1 million people. Maybe not that many today, but I'm staying on here today. 1.1 million people have listened to me. Over 1.1, almost 1.2 million. Probably as of today, I've reached 1.2 million people have listened to me. We're talking about the state of Tennessee, the crooked state of Tennessee. We're talking about Jim Jones, Bill Lee. Hi, Bill's Lee. Both of them claim to be Christians. Jim Jones was Methodist, a faith healer. Bill Lee claims to be a Christian, advertised in a church. Now, I'm not saying Bill Lee literally wants you to drink poisonous Kool-Aid. I'm not saying he literally wants you to do that. I'm saying symbolically, similarly, Bill Lee wants you to go along with his judges that he appoints, and with the former governor, Bill Haslam. They want you to go along with them while they violate your constitutional rights, while they run the government that's dangerous to you. That's what I'm saying. While they institute policies they're dangerous to them. I'm doing them a favor, helping them out. The policies that they institute are even dangerous to them. Jim Jones was dangerous to himself. He killed himself, shot himself in the head. I'm not saying Bill Lee will do that, but symbolically, Bill Lee is dangerous to himself. And he's very dangerous to others, which is what I'm concerned about, because Bill Lee did it to himself. Bill Lee is a quote unquote Christian. Jim Jones, Methodist, faith healer. What's the difference? The fastness of the fatality. He's not mixing Kool-Aid for you, but he is fixing the legal system in his damn favor, appointing judges that'll rule for him. You look at the judicial system. Governor Bill Lee promotes judges to higher positions. They start at the court level, and they don't even get in the system unless they're approved by the Tennessee Board of Law Examiners, which is crooked as hell. They won't even let you in unless you agree not to complain on judges that violate people's constitutional rights. They do all the damn time. So you don't even get in the door unless you're a chameleon. And then Governor Bill Lee, at the trial court level, if you rule in his favor, convict people he wants convicted, and release people he wants released, and he wants a lot of people released. He wants all his cronies let out of prison, let out of jail. Doesn't that work out real well for the fool? And he's a fool for himself because it's not going to work out for him. So people on the trial court that rule in his favor, people in the administrative cases that take people's property and give it to the state. People from other states, be careful coming through Tennessee. Tennessee's got forfeiture seizure laws. They got forfeiture seizure laws. The people that decide whether or not your property should be seized and given to the government are people in the government appointed by the governor. So you come through Tennessee, see how safe you are. I know of a fact. A state trooper seized a man's truck while he was coming through Tennessee, alleged that he was using it for drugs. He went before a Tennessee judge, a Tennessee administrative law judge, the same judges that lied on me and Marty Nix. Actually, the one that Marty Nix got, he got a fair hearing, and then I had the same judge that gave Marty Nix a fair hearing, so they switched the judges on me. So they're going to win anyway. They're going to win no matter what they got to do. So if you come through Tennessee and you're just driving down the road in your big fancy car and you own it, you got a bunch of money with you, then watch out, because what's going to happen is you'll get stopped by a Tennessee state trooper. Now, they will accuse you of being drunk sometimes when you're not even drunk. That's going all over the nation. The state highway patrol arresting people for not being drunk and their blood test coming back zero. What about the number of people that didn't take a blood test that they've got a conviction on? So you're coming through the state of Tennessee and you are stone cold sober and you got a big fancy car and a state trooper wants to seize it. So he stops you, takes your vehicle, and I know a state trooper that seized a man, 3 different vehicles from a man. He came through Tennessee, got his truck seized by a Tennessee state trooper. Got it through an administrative law judge who is appointed by the governor. So the governor decided whether or not he should get your truck by appointing a judge that gets to make that decision. And if the judge makes that decision at the trial court level, then he gets promoted to appeals court. Where if you appeal it, the worst crooked judges are at the higher echelon because if you decide in his favor at the trial court level, then he'll promote you because he knows you're going to back him up to appeals court and then to the Tennessee Supreme Court, because the governor gets to decide who rules for him, and that's who he promotes. If you rule against the governor at the trial court level, then you never get promoted. So if you're at the trial court level and you're siding the case and you want to violate somebody's constitutional rights and you're immune from you have complete immunity to decide whatever you want to decide, then what are you going to do? You're going to decide in the governor's favor so the governor can promote you and get your $6 a head, which is what they get for guilty verdicts. So this man came through Tennessee 3 times. Got his first car stolen. Administrative law judge adjudicated for the governor. The governor gets his truck. And he appointed the judge that decided whether or not his truck. And the person coming through Tennessee has no politics in Tennessee. So, and then we'll go on. So take a break about this time. I'll be back on here in just a minute. So we'll go on and tell you the rest of the story. And show you something that ought to encourage you, which is this flag that I fly proudly at my house. So look at this flag that I fly proudly at my house. And we'll be right back in just a minute. So, Charles Van Morgan. And we'll finish this story tomorrow. Thank y'all for watching. So we'll finish tomorrow. The story of the defrauding, not tomorrow, we'll finish Monday morning. The story of the dirty state of Tennessee, how they defraud people, out of their money. So like, share, comment, contribute. Thank y'all for showing up. We'll talk to y'all about how the administrative hearings seize people's cars and how it's dangerous to come to the state of Tennessee under the current administration from somebody that's got a doctor of jurisprudence, a master of arts in sociology, and we'll talk about 3 vehicles seized from one person. So come through the state of Tennessee at your own risk under Governor Bill Lee. So we'll finish that tomorrow. My battery's almost dead, and I don't have the power charger to charge it up. So thank y'all for joining me. Charles Van Morgan Show. Get the message out. Like, share, comment, spread this message worldwide, and we're going to get the truth out about the dirty Tennessee government. Thank y'all for joining me. And Monday, we'll talk about the administrative law process that will steal your car. Other people come from other states under Jim Jones, otherwise known as Christian Governor Bill Lee. Thank y'all for joining me. Last thing I always say, God loves you, and I do too.